Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God.
For promoting this, I have threatened you. Who? I don't believe that is true because I wouldn't let you go naked in a bathing suit. Or what did that say? I've threatened to do a bathing suit photo shoot. Yeah, we talked about that now. Just please download the app. I know that I'm hard. We're not doing that. I didn't have 6 a.m. on a Wednesday talking about me taking photo shoots in a bathing suit for people. Download the app. Yeah, better download the app. You better download the app.
That's not what I heard, man. It's not what you told me. Oh, absolutely.
They didn't say Alex Gold was going to do that because then nobody would download the apps if they were going to see Alex walk around. Honest question.
Binkley.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what would be better? I mean, yeah.
Who would look better? Who would you pay to see in the Borat swimsuit?
Binkley. Yeah,
Okay.
it's just Binkley.
Juice all over the
There's not
place.
another number 2.
Who's number 2 work for?
Yeah, let's go, Jay. Put on that banana hammock. We'll talk to you in about 46 minutes or so.
Hopefully 44.
44 minutes. Yeah, that's right. Maybe we hit it on time today.
guy's
Binkley's
an
ready,
idiot,
though.
man.
He's ready. He's ready to talk draft today, brother.
Somebody says, let's go. We want it. Maybe it's just me. I really don't think you believe that.
No.
Just download the apps.
Yeah, just do that. Watch us on
Instagram,
YouTube.
Instagram, Facebook, Die Royal Decree, Chiefs Take, all that stuff. It's real easy. You don't need to see this in a swim. Nobody needs to see that. Give me a couple more months and we can have a different conversation. And somebody says, and Alex too.
There it is.
I don't wear bathing
Just
suits.
come to my apartment complex. I'm a thirst trap.
That makes me run away. I wear T-shirts. I don't want to get sunburned.
Hell yeah, that's where I am. I don't care. I'm not getting
Yeah.
I'm not getting like Maloney and having to get the stuff burned off my body. Like I'm
Yeah.
not I'm out on that
Same
business,
stuff,
man.
dude.
Awful. Skin cancer and colon cancer. I saw another one today about James Vanderbeek this morning about people talking about the colon cancer. And, people are dying younger and younger every year with colon cancer. And so you need to get those colonoscopies, right around 40, not 50, not 45. Don't listen to what they tell you. They're liars. Get them about 40 years old and make sure that you're clean inside. And wear sunscreen, man. Like, it's so important. Yep. My mother growing up always told me, there were 3 S's: no smoking, no sex, no sunscreen, and wear sunscreen. I was like, okay, I'll always remember those, right? Sure. And so, but the sunscreen one is something that I'm very passionate about. That, I mean, we get our sunscreen now from Europe because in the European version of the sunscreen, it protects you against 36 different things. American sunscreen protects you against 18 different things. And so,
hello, America.
I mean, I am, sunscreen for me, colonoscopies for me, all that kind of stuff, man. Take care of yourself because you don't want to deal with the crap at the end. You don't want to go through colon cancer. You don't want to go through skin cancer. You don't want to go through all of those things that are preventable. It's simple. It's not that hard to do. So smear that stuff on your face and put it on your head and your arms and your legs.
Pasty, baby.
And seriously, get pasty and get a colonoscopy and make sure you're there for your family because you just see too many people dying way too early from this stuff.
I'm not having the bass just thump. I'm not going crazy.
That's Alex poolside, baby. On a Saturday in July.
I need Alex to say the line, I know that I'm hard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
But in the
that'd
goal
be
voice,
great,
I
yeah.
know
I'm not going to say that. There's just no way I'm saying that. Not a
Sunday,
chance.
I'm going to shave the cheeks and everything else.
Good.
Yeah.
You look good in that banana
See,
hammock.
look, there's those Cavs creamsicles. Aren't those clean?
I never noticed them to wear
Oh, yeah,
creamsicle uniforms before. I never saw that.
I didn't know if it was new or if I'm just a bad NBA fan.
I don't know, Dusty. I'm with you. I don't know if that's a new look for Cleveland or if that's something they rolled out from the 80s that we're all supposed to get excited about, and like we do with Tampa Bay. I don't know. I don't. Who watched the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Because
They
that's
had a good win last night, didn't they?
that's
Yeah.
a great uniform collab.
It
too.
is. It's nice.
It's
I
awesome.
like
The
it.
true Nick blue
with the
and
Nick,
then
yeah,
the creamsicle
absolutely.
orange, and then the court
The
fades.
court looks good
and
too.
it says the land in the middle of the court.
I
Like
know
that's-
that I'm hard.
I think that's probably. It's got to be like their City Connects or something like that, right? Their version of the City
Yeah,
Connects.
maybe.
If
Because
the NBA put the energy towards the courts and the uniforms that they could put towards
Yeah,
like
right.
the
Playing.
sport, like
Dancing the game.
we'd be nails, dude.
Yeah.
We'd have everything.
It'd be amazing. It'd be perfect.
that'd be fantastic. Yeah, if you had the same energy and effort out there every night from the players that you do from the marketing departments, my God, we'd be running all over the place with that league. People would be excited about the NBA.
You know where you have a lot of energy?
Where's that?
In the lottery system in Kansas. A lot of energy there. It's rigged.
You want to talk about a
My
get your
senior
popcorn?
year is ruined because of Raleigh. That poor girl is banned.
I mean, my God. I mean, you want to talk about scandal in Lawrence, Kansas. The camping groups getting into it yesterday. And look, I've talked
Talk
to
about first world problems.
Seriously, Dusty. Like, okay, so
I had to stand in row 5, and I was here at 1 a.m. I saw Bill speak. How am I in row 6? No one's going to see my Boshi jersey that my mom gave me from Delta Chi.
well, it's Kappa Delta from what I understand.
Well, she probably got it from a Delta Chi guy.
Did, yeah, but I understand Riley, who was called out in this post
This poor
yesterday.
girl.
I mean, so if people are like, "What are you guys talking about?" At KU, the students camp out to get the best seats for the games. Everybody knows that, right? Back in our day, and this was our text thread last night because most of my buddies have kids at KU now that are in the middle of this thing. I've got some friends that are up there as students at KU, so I'm talking to them last night that are in the middle of this thing. This is the scandal that is rocked Lawrence, Kansas, right? You thought the Darren Peterson stuff was bad. This thing is to a new level. So back in the mid-'90s, what we used to do, there was a piece of paper on a door at Allen Fieldhouse, and everybody just wrote their name on it, and somebody just yelled out the names every once in a while. They took attendance, boom, it was done, and you moved on, right? Technology, I guess they're like drawing numbers out of a hat or whatever, and the people that have been in charge, what do they call it? The camping board or whatever it is, because Riley will no longer be associated with camping leadership. So I guess the camping leadership for years, people are saying now, have been, kind of fixing the lottery, that their groups were always going to be kind of at the top. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's life, I guess. I mean, that's the reality of it. But it got to the point where they caught these people cheating, and man, they laid down the hatchet on them and called. This is what the KU camping Twitter said yesterday. We are aware of a message sent by one of our camping leaders describing the falsification of a numbered chip some groups pulled this morning at the lottery. With this being the final home game of her senior year, a selfish action was taken that goes against what ourselves as a group and the entire student body believes in. These two groups have now been moved to the bottom of the order, and Riley will no longer be associated with camping leadership. The integrity of Kansas basketball is essential to us, the integrity of Kansas basketball, yeah. And we're taking action to keep all lotteries fair and honest. Nothing is bigger than KU basketball, and we will hold our members to the same standard. Signed, camping leadership. So, Riley, instead of sitting in row 5, you've got to go to the back of the line. They really laid down the law to Riley and everybody else that was cheating during this thing.
And I'm here to reach out to Miss Riley if you'd like to defend your case.
We're open.
Absolutely.
913-586-7965.
Yeah, I'm interested to
There's
hear.
a side to every
Innocent
story.
until proven guilty, Riley.
That's right,
they
Riley.
couldn't put their names on the docket. Let me be the defense attorney. Is that the right name to use
Yeah,
for
for
this?
Riley,
Yeah.
you would be
Yeah.
your defense attorney. Yeah,
There you
She missed it by 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And no one would have known what was going on. So it would have been somebody else's fault next year.
That's right.
Because ain't Riley the trailblazer of this.
But I'm hearing from sources up there, like text messages from a year ago are starting to surface now, and screenshots from things from a year.
Yeah, 'cause this isn't the first
Oh,
time.
no. Everybody kind of knew this was going on, but like they got brazen, I guess, about it and got caught. You know, it's like thieves. They're really good until they go a little bit too far, until they push it just too far. Oh, I can get away with this. I don't have to cover my tracks. Boom, busted. And so that's what happened up in Lawrence. You know, you didn't cover your tracks. Boom, busted. But imagine February, March, really now of your senior year. You're ostracized on campus if you're Riley, I would imagine, right? Like,
for sure.
it's going to be hard to go to class. It's going to be hard to hang out in Lawrence and do all that kind of stuff.
I'm emailing my professors, and I'm like, the rest of the semester, I'm online.
Would you do that? Honest to God, you guys are obviously younger than I am. If this was you, Mac, embroiled in this kind of campus scandal, would you take the rest of the semester online and just graduate and disappear
I'm
from Lawrence?
confrontational, so I would go to. I would just talk to everyone who'd come up to me, and I'd have my case. Like I talked to my defense attorney Dusty.
Right.
Give him a call, and I'd get my statement.
right.
I'd be ready to go.
Yeah. What would you do, Dusty? Would you go to online?
I'd go to Riley and I'd say Ruben's case, Ruben's, Cambiano, and Likens because
right.
they're strength in our numbers.
Yeah, right.
No,
yeah.
I would definitely. I would feel. I'm like Mac. I'm the same way. Like I know we talked about this yesterday.
Yeah,
Introverted, extroverted. I would go to class, and then if it got to a point where it was like every day it was just a mess, and I was distraction for everybody. I'm
Right.
just, again, not about
There's
just
that
me.
guy who cheated at fifth grade.
Yeah.
And I would turn around like, yeah, and I got $1,300 for it.
Yeah, right.
Okay?
Yeah.
And free swipes at the cafeteria.
Yeah.
Kiss my ass.
Yeah.
And I'm not coming back to class.
Yeah, that's the last time you be there. See, I'm
Talk to you
different.
later.
I would have been anti because I'm a rule follower. That's my personality. We've talked about that. I would I'm not involved in this. Like,
I've never done it in the first place. Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, I would never have done that in the first place. But if I got caught up in it, if it was my fraternity that got caught up in this, yeah, I mean, I would probably go on campus and just be the introverted Bob that I've always been, and just kind of sit there and see what happens.
Yeah.
I
Suck
guess.
an egg.
I think you probably have more a furor, if you will, if you're going out to the bars at this point in time, right? Because now people are getting drunk and they're seeing these people out there that have been, cheating for all these years and screwing people out of seats at Allen Fieldhouse, and that may be more of a challenge for anybody. But this thing yesterday, man, all my friends that are kids are up there are like, this is a big deal. And if you're in college and you're at KU right now, this is a big deal. I responded back to a couple of the kids that I was talking
sent out
to.
a press release.
They did. It's like
How
one,
pathetic.
one of the texts came out that said from one of my buddies is like, yeah, it's been on the news all day. I'm like, it's Lawrence,
my
Kansas. What
gosh.
news, first of all? Like,
Basketball.
yeah. But I'm just responding to all these kids. I'm like, I find this hysterical. I do. Like, I find this to be absolutely peak college, peak hysterical. But man, I do feel bad for this Riley gal because she is going to be the center of everything and has been the center of everything. And people are posting her picture from when Bill showed up the other day at the campsite, with them talking to all the kids, and she's right there as camping leadership. And so, it's just the greatest scandals in college mean absolutely nothing when you get out that door. Right? This is peak college right
You're
now.
in that bubble, though, man.
You are in that
Living
bubble.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've already got my opening statement ready.
Oh,
for
okay.
it.
Yeah.
You do? What
please.
is it?
I'd say, here's a woman that comes to class and school every day. And we have a kid on this basketball team who she supports who doesn't even show up for games.
There it is.
Case closed.
She's never gone to her sorority sister and said, hey, I'm done when she's got to stand in line for tickets. And that's why she got the front row. This guy doesn't even play enough, and he can't be the first overall pick because of it. Coincidence? No. Let's begin this trial.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, gosh. It's coming. I'm telling you. I mean, I don't know who that is in the dugout. Is that Rusty?
Oh, gosh.
Man, I'm trying to think of whose voice that is.
Oh, gosh.
I don't know if that's a grown-ass man being completely just blown away by 460, 115 off the bat.
Yeah,
Doesn't
I'd like
mean
to know
anything.
whose voice that is, though. Play it again.
Okay, hang on. Let me
More
go
time.
back to it.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, gosh. It sounds older.
Oh, gosh.
Can we also
God,
listen
it
to the
sounds
sound of the
familiar.
ball and the
Yes.
bat? That is a baseball getting murdered.
Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh.
I know that I'm hard. Exactly. Coming up on the other side, we dive more into things that are, well, I'm not going to say scandal, but the Chiefs plan. And I'm going to be honest with you, I know absolutely nothing about what the Chiefs
Boy,
are gonna do.
misdirection yesterday.
Yesterday, 3 days
You're
ago.
listening to Bob Fescoe
Out of anybody should talk, he should never grab a microphone.
and Dusty Likens.
His ass is foul of all foul.
Weekdays 6 to 10. Fescoe and Dusty is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5, The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at QC Kinetics want you to feel better with spring, on the horizon. You don't want to be stuck inside because your joints are bothering you, or you don't want to be looking out the window and watching everybody hanging out, doing cool things outside, but you're like, my knees are sore right now. 40,000 people said, you know what, enough is enough. We're going to QC Kinetics because we're going to get pain relief without surgery. So before you replace your knee or your hip, and before you put your life on hold for months, there is another way. And 40,000 people found that at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in cellular level treatments that revitalize joint tissue naturally. Patients who thought surgery was the only answer are getting their lives back thanks to QC Kinetics advanced regenerative treatments. QC Kinetics uses safe, natural treatments to activate your body's healing power with zero downtime. So get started now to ease inflammation and slow that progression of arthritis. 40,000 people can't be wrong. So before you say yes to surgery, call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, 816-412-6299.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-269-3454. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-269-3454 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-269-3454 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-269-3454.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
On the Missouri side, 35 southbound from Missouri 152 into downtown is a 12-minute trip. I-70 westbound from 470 into downtown, 15 minutes. Kansas side 70 eastbound from 435 to 670 is an 11-minute drive. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Hey, Dusty, can you play that Caglione home run again, please?
Oh, as much as you want.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's, I mean, I don't know who that is. But was that off Carlos Estevez by chance?
No.
Oh, okay.
Tell you, man, as soon as I saw Andy Rogers' tweet yesterday, I sent it directly to Bob Fescoe.
God, I'm scared to death. I really am.
We had our little meet and greet up at our friends at Heartland Men's Health yesterday. How the Royals look. First, Mac, I'm not even kidding you. 0.3 seconds out of Fescoe's mouth. I don't know, man. Carlos has got me in a fumble.
Well, he does. I mean, you've seen bad closers. I mean, we saw, 10 years ago it was now, but I mean, my God, I can't believe it's been 10 years, but the reincarnation of Joakim Soria here in Kansas City. What a disaster that was. I was talking to my friend Gemini yesterday, right? Gas can Oria, or whatever, butane Oria.
To give reference, though, Andy Rogers tweeted yesterday, Carlos Tevez' velocity was way down today. In his spring debut, 86 to 89 miles per hour. This is obviously eyebrow raising and something to monitor, but not new. It's exactly what came up last year. It's typically a slow start for him. Royals really rely on how he says he feels.
So what's interesting to me is both her and Vern, who are more in tune with the team than anybody I've ever met in my entire life.
I would say her,
right?
Vern, and Jalen Thompson.
Those
are the three.
Those are the people that are embroiled into this. And it's interesting that they're all kind of caveating with, well, this did happen before, but yet they're all talking about it, right? If this was normal, maybe we're not talking about it, though. That's how I look at it. Like, if this is Estevez every year, we should be like, there's nothing big about it. But the way that Andy Rogers and the way that Vern are talking about it has me concerned that it is different than something that every year. And I think the every year stuff may be a little bit of something that everybody's kind of using as some positivity to kind of fall back. And, well, this happens every year, let's see. But the average lifespan, like I said, I was talking to my friend Gemini yesterday, 2 to 4 years is the average lifespan of a closer in Major League Baseball. I mean, that is it. Obviously, there are outliers, but when you put that much kind of taxation, if you will, on your arm, like those are tough outs to get the ninth inning, right? That's not the sixth inning. That's not, the intensity of outs they always talk about. Those final 3 outs are the most intense outs of any baseball game. And so guys are going to get all their energy worked out in a couple of years because they're going full speed, balls to the wall basically for an entire inning.
In baseball, right? Nobody goes balls to the wall for 1 inning like closers do. And so they blow out very, very fast. And, with both Andy Rogers and Vern, like raising, not like answering our questions about it, but legitimately bringing it up and having it at the forefront, I am concerned about it.
Right now.
Yeah, every time you see the name Carlos Estevez attached to Andy Rogers or Vern, it's got Bob going,
oh, gosh.
Oh, gosh.
It does, man.
Have we seen this, though, in the past ever in players that have done this regularly? Is it slow start, ramp up velocity?
Normally with, like, starters.
Yeah, a lot of starters. You hear about it every year. Slow starter. He's got to find the zone. A lot of that is bull. Okay, because I've been covering this baseball since 2001, and a lot of it they make up things when they're trying to send a positive message. Like for all those years, and the Royals were going to lose 100 games. He's working on some things, and I was trying to locate my fastball. Well, you didn't really do a good job of it. They hit 4 home runs today. Those kinds of things. I think people will say they're working on it, and it's slow, and it's a process, when they're not really sure and they're really not confident about it right now. And so I think if you're the Royals, man, you give this another week or so, you see how he is once he comes back from the World Baseball Classic. But if it's not where it needs to be, you've got to start scouring the market and trying to figure out what you're going to do with that closer position. Because, again, I just don't think there's anything more demoralizing in sports than your team battles for 8 innings and your closer comes out there and serves up meatballs, and all of a sudden you lose the ball game.
I'm also trying to hope Vern's sanity stays safe for the first month of the season, because if Estevez goes out there and blows 3 saves in the first 30 games of the season, that's going to be one hell of a post-game show on 96.5 The Fan.
Yeah.
And I'll be sitting in my car every time I hear Vern go to the phone lines going,
oh, gosh.
By the way, that was 460 feet, 115.8 off the bat.
God, the voice does sound so damn familiar.
I don't know who it is.
It's driving me nuts today.
Need to figure out who that is.
Could be nobody, though. Could be just some guy that was sitting there.
Like, I feel like if we play that, because you know how managers are weird? Like, they just have that, like, whatever that is in their brain that they could just either it's a photogenic memory or it's a sound or a moment. I feel like if we play that for Q and we have him on for the season, like, who is this?
Yeah.
Right away. Like, oh, that's Scotty. He's our assistant hitting coach. Like,
okay.
Okay, makes sense. I don't know who that was, but I want to know because, like, I had the same reaction because the tweet went out and then eventually the video goes out. And then, so on and so forth. Everybody says Mac and Bob have had a Tuesday, but Dusty's not the only one that's not having a bad Tuesday. But you love to see that. Keep it coming, Jack. See what you do in the World Baseball Classic as well for Team Italy, because that'll be a stage where, like, you'll be a needed bat, similar to what you'll be needing in the regular season. I don't know what the Chiefs are going to do. I know yesterday was quite a day for at least I think the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, obviously, Brett Veach speaking at the Combine in Indianapolis. We'll have people on there throughout the week. Mitch Holtis is out there. Matt McMullen's out there. Nate Taylor's out there as well, helping us with some content out there. Man, so the Jets announced yesterday that Breece Hall's getting the franchise tag.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Right?
But you could also do a sign and trade. But if you weren't willing to give up a third last year at the deadline for Breece Hall, will you be willing to meet the Jets' demands now for Breece Hall? And I just don't think you trade for Breece Hall. There's other options out there.
And you also
I think they franchise tagged him to keep him, too.
Yeah, and I think that's what I was kind of alluding to last week, where I'm like, the Jets are going to screw this up for everybody, right? They're either going to give Breece Hall money and say, you're going to be the cornerstone of the franchise we are rebuilding, or they franchise tag him. That's, I mean, because you say tag and trade, but like in all reality, if you're explaining something to somebody who's not really a follower of the sport, you'd be like, that's a very rare thing to happen.
It is. It really is. Yeah.
Normally when you see they're going to franchise tag him, the first thing like everybody seemed to do on Twitter yesterday was like, well, that calls the Breece Hall thing off. So there's one gone. Javonte Williams gone, right? And Brett Veach spoke yesterday, and this is what he talked about with the Chiefs' offseason plans.
I think every year, I mean, it's a challenge, and we do have some flexibility with how we're set up to do some different things, but it's not like we have $90 million in cap space. We have to execute an efficient game plan in free agency, and then we got to nail these picks, and that'll be important for us to keep this run going. Obviously, we had a step back last year, and everyone was disappointed, but everyone's motivated, and even the coaching staff too. Like I said, the last 3 years we haven't had a chance to really get with them much before the combine, and right after that Vegas game, I mean, those guys were all in, and it was exciting and energetic in a way, just to get out there. And I think the last few years, we were kind of just like in a maintenance stage, and now we're trying to just rebuild this thing again. And I think for a GM and a personnel staff, that's exciting.
Should be, right? This is the, I guess, most primo position that Brett Veach has been able to draft in with the top 10 pick, 9th overall. We see all the mock drafts. We'll have Binkley on in about 20 minutes, and he's got a mock draft dropping either today or I believe it's today with the Character Concerns podcast with he and Chris Unicero. But obviously plans are going to happen. We've seen Mike Dana get released. I heard, Brett Veach talk about that. Like, hey, we want to give him time to go out there, and then if we need to, we can get back into a conversation if we want to bring him back. I don't think that's a reunion. And then obviously the name Travis Kelce gets brought up. And I don't know if you were to number offseason moves of importance, I think Kelce's decision and what happens with him is in the top 3, maybe top 2 with what this team is going to do in the offseason. I think if you look at the running back position, the Travis Kelce situation, and the Trent McDuffie situation, I think those are probably the 3 most intriguing stories that we're looking at as of right now. Obviously, the draft is such a conglomerate of stuff that I don't know where that is, because some people have Lemon, some people have Bain, some people have Love, some people have maybe a guy you haven't thought of that's a perfect fit for the Chiefs. But this was Brett Veach on the Kelce situation.
Yeah, I think we've kind of taken a different approach with Travis in the sense that I think, we've kind of prepared for either scenario. And Coach had mentioned on Friday, he's had great dialogue with Travis on our end, myself, Chris Shea, Travis's crew. We've had some good dialogue there. And I'm sure we're going to see him here just like we will all the other players' agents, and we'll continue that dialogue. But Travis is the best. He's an icon, and hopefully he comes back, and we'll just kind of let that process play out. It's not your typical, hey, 27-year-old first time at free agency. I mean, Travis has done everything. He's accomplished everything. He's about to get married. He's got a lot going on. And so I don't think there's an element of us not trying to, you need some sort of deadline timeline, but at the same time, I mean, it's Travis Kelce. So we're going to just continue to have positive dialogue and see where this thing ends. But I think we're trying to position ourselves that either way, we have a plan moving forward.
So it sounds like they're just waiting on him.
Yeah.
In all reality, he gives him all his accolades, all the excuses that are well merited, right? Like he's getting married. He's not a 27-year-old free agent anymore. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's done everything he needs to do. And we've basically said to ourselves, we are going to do one of 2 things, move on without him or move on with him. And either way, we are prepared on both sides of that sphere to see what we do moving forward.
Well, and I think they kind of know what they're going to do and where Travis is going to be. I would assume Travis is coming back, and they're planning on having Travis Kelce come back. Mm-hmm. But I don't think Travis Kelce coming back or retiring should have any impact on what you're doing this offseason or what you're really doing for the future. I mean, Brett Veach said it, there he goes, for the last few years we've been maintaining. And that's a great way to put it. I love the fact that he said that, because that kind of let us all in about like what's been going on. Why haven't you been updating the roster? Well, we keep going to the Super Bowl. We're just going to maintain where we are. And now we're kind of in that rebuild stage. And he used that term rebuild. I don't think Travis Kelce should have an impact on your rebuild process at all. To me, Travis Kelce ends up being, the final piece of your meal, that nice piece of the meal that ties it all together at the end. But it shouldn't, affect if you're going to have salmon, if you're going to have steak, if you're going to have chicken, you get that extra piece at the end that ties that whole meal together. That's Travis Kelce. You should still go in and prepare that meal because he's not going to be here next year, right? So you still got to rebuild. But having Travis Kelce should not affect anything that this team wants to do. If you feel like you still need to go get a tight end, go get a tight end. If you feel like you need to go get a running back, go get a running back. And, oh, by the way, Travis will be here as well to kind of shepherd everybody through this kind of final season that he's going to see here in Kansas City. So one way or the other, this thing is over in less than 300 days, right? One way or the other, you're done with Travis Kelce after this season. So you've got to prepare that Travis Kelce just isn't going to be part of your future because this is a good draft to start planning out the next wave, right? If you're rebuilding, you want to plan out that next wave, but having Travis Kelce, in the mix isn't holding you back from doing what you need to do to move forward as an organization at all. It's not like Aaron Rodgers and you're waiting on your quarterback,
Yeah, tight end should be a part of your plan no matter what because you need future there. So it may not be in the draft this year, so we could look at free agents. We did it the other night on After Hours. It's bleak. David Njoku's probably the only name you'd really want.
Got franchise.
Yep. Isaiah likely is going to get overpaid. I don't want to have that on this team at all. He can't run block. He's not good for this system. So, they've got to figure that out either way. I thought it was interesting what Brett Veach said, speaking on Kelce, like there is a line, where we'll need to kind of figure out what's going on. So I just want, when is that line where Veach is in his office kind of pacing back and forth going, okay, I got to call him. I got to call him.
There isn't one.
No, there is. There has to be. Like there has to.
I would say
it's probably.
I would say the line is probably April 1st.
Yeah, like getting close to the draft. Like, hey, dude, I need to know what's going on.
I would say, hey, I'm going to give you all of the offseason, but April 1st,
Well, maybe next week. It's the league year. I mean,
maybe it's tax day.
March 11th kind of starts, the league
that
year.
Makes sense.
So a week from Monday, you kind of got to know where we're going to be on the cap and what your salary is going to be. And so I just don't think I think they know what's going on, right?
Yeah,
and once nothing is official, obviously, until the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, and nobody wants to get ahead of themselves. And if they say something, then it ticks off the others, whatever the case may be, right? So you just kind of let it play out. This is also the silly season and the misdirection season too. So most of this stuff that these guys are spewing up there, I'm not like the Raiders yesterday, right? Oh, we'd love to have Max Crosby back. Translation, make us your best offer. He's available, right? Oh, we don't know what we're going to do at number one. Mendoza may not be our pick. Translation, we hate this guy. Make us your best offer, at number one. The 49ers with Mac Jones yesterday. Well, it's going to take a lot to trade him. Make him your offer. The Eagles yesterday, we're going to do something different other than the tush push now because people thought and know how to stop it. Okay, we're still going to do the tush push out there, right? So this is the misdirection season where a lot of it is lies, a lot of it is just fodder and Eli's and all that kind of stuff. So I always laugh at the GMs and coaches that talk at the combine because a lot of it's just misdirection. It's the silly season, and a lot of guys are trying to get offers out there for their picks. The Jets maybe want to trade their pick, maybe the Giants want to trade their pick. Hell, would you be opposed to the Chiefs trading out of 9 and picking up a couple of extra first-round picks or maybe another first and a second-round pick?
Absolutely. That'd be great.
That'd be fun, right?
Yeah, I'd be in on that. Yeah.
So I think everything's on the table for every team out there right now. That's this would be, if you're a GM, this would be the part that I would like. Going around, gossiping, getting all the information, taking your notes, putting together a plan, figure out what's going on, figure out who wants to do what, and then kind of put your plan together because once they get back from Indianapolis, now you're really going to have an idea of what's going on because you met with all these agents, right? You've talked to the other teams. You know what you can start to try to accomplish after you talk to everybody in person.
Yeah, I'd get pretty goofy around draft time if I was a GM. That's where I'd start playing the draft like I play poker. I'd be like, I know what hands I'm going to put my chips and focus on, and I know what hands I'm going to try to steal a few blinds to get me a couple rounds around the table without anybody noticing what I'm doing. And I do think that the combine / free agency area is fun, but I mean, how fun is it on your fantasy draft when you're picking 5th and you go, man, if this guy picks him, I can steer this thing any way I want.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's like the childish version of the NFL draft. Obviously, I would not know what to do once my team was on the clock.
Right.
Like, you think radio clock is fast the first day you step into a studio.
Well, remember the Vikings missed the time, you know?
Well, that is a fair point. This was also Veach on the dialogue of he and McDuffie.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of dialogue with Trent. Looking forward to get with him, and obviously Trent's a great player and see what we can do there. But certainly love to have Trent back and for the long term.
So if we can come to an offer, great. If not, we have the ability to trade Trent McDuffie. I mean, that's exactly what that is. You know, they looked at Trent a couple of years ago as one of those next pillar guys of that next wave of of talent here in Kansas City. But I love Trent McDuffie both personally and professionally. But guys, do you think he's more valuable to us as a player or as somebody as a trade chip? Obviously, depending on what you get back for that trade chip. But I could make a case either way. This is a tough one for me. I think, and I hate to say this, but we already may have gotten the best we'll ever get out of Trent McDuffie. A couple of Super Bowls, couple of Pro Bowl years, and maybe you sell high. And maybe that's what you do, and you move on from Trent McDuffie. Or you decide, hey, you know what? If we can come out to a team-friendly deal and it makes sense for us and we can lock you up long-term, then, hey, maybe we will lock you up long-term because he is the best cornerback that's come through here. What do you guys think? I'd love to get your opinions, Mac and Dusty, on this. Like, what would you do in this situation?
Well, what did we say yesterday about Jeremiah Love? Like, if he got picked 9th, we'd be like, all right, I'll figure out how to like this. Even though, like, going into it, I, would want defensive line or whatever, but eventually you would just be like, I mean, I'm not pissed, right?
Like, you're pissed, but you're not pissed.
I think, am I wrong speaking for both of us right now about the McDuffie thing where it's like, I would love it, but if I'm not going to get what I want for him, then I could make myself like the fact that now he's a lifer in Kansas City and he's one of the best at his positions. It's
like we're settling for something really awesome too, But I get what you're coming from on that because I'm kind of the same way as you, Dusty.
I can convince myself. I mean, he's a 25-year-old All-Pro corner. Like, I can get there.
Yeah,
great off the field, great on the field.
Yeah,
great leader in the team.
About him. Yeah. Like, he's an A+ guy. He's an A player. So I'll take. I just want us to put him in the right situations. I
My
think
daughter
we
thinks
have
he's
failed
hot
him.
too.
He is hot. He's got
swag.
Yeah.
Great eyes. He's got swag. Yes.
He's taking ladies.
Good-looking guy. I just wish we'd put him in the right situation. I think we failed in the last 2 seasons.
I don't
honestly.
disagree with that. That's a great point by you. Yeah.
5'10" corner that they've decided to put out in the X. He's a slot corner. That's when he was an All-Pro. He's a slot. I mean, I've said it a million times. So put him in a better situation. If you're Trent McDuffie, you'd want to be put in a better situation too.
Yeah, I think he was in a bad situation last year. And I go back to talking about the different personalities of players and whatnot and looking at, Justin Reed and how much he was missed this year because he was such a leader and a floor general, if you will, out there, a field general. And they wanted Trent McDuffie to kind of be that guy, but that's not his personality, right? That's not who he is as a human being. And you can't change somebody and say, all right, now take, who you are and be a leader out here. That's not who I am. That's not what I do. And so that's why I think Caleb Downs would be a great pick at number 9 if he's there.
Well, I said yesterday he's going 2 overall the Jets.
Yeah, I mean, right? Like if he goes 2 overall.
I think that wish is gone.
I think that wish is gone too. But that's really where that's really where the Chiefs do need to focus though is shoring up that safety spot and getting that alpha dog back there that is that true field general like you had with Justin Reed and you had with Tyrann Mathieu. And so if you get that guy back in the equation and you better cast, if you will, Trent McDuffie as a guy that's going to be a listener and not the leader and not the guy who has to be the back end floor general, then it's a much better situation. And I'm not down really on Trent after last year. There was no defensive line pressure that took any pressure off of him. And the Justin Reed situation ended up being a miss, by this organization by allowing him to go. And so all of that stuff factors in. And it's all that stuff that nobody wants to talk about, that behind the scenes stuff that has such a big impact on what goes on the field with these guys.
I'm loving it. Well, hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
Better believe it. It's a poll question on a Wednesday for the Fescoe and Dusty poll question on the Fan 965. And I kind of alluded to it earlier. Would your opinion change more on the Chiefs if they did select Jeremiah Love at the 9th overall pick? Or do you think people's opinion would change more on Darren Peterson if he took Kansas to a Final Four? So
I think the Jeremiah Love thing.
Because if you think about it, we've heard a lot of people, I don't want to say everyone, but I would say it's about 60-40, maybe 65-35, that are pretty advocate of saying, I do not want a running back in the first round. We've seen that you don't need to do this. Go sign a free agent. But with the Breece Hall information yesterday, that leaves like Travis Etienne as a name that could be possibly coming here.
It's a good pick. Yeah, it's a good sign.
And Algier could be still a name that you look at in the open market. Rico Dowdle's another name that maybe could be a piece here as well. But what would you change your mind more so do you think the perception would be? The Chiefs taking Jeremiah Love at 9th with a running back, or if Darren Peterson were to lead KU to a Final Four, would all be forgotten?
I think people have their mind made up about Darren Peterson, and I think that's not going to change. I do think a lot of fans, though, would be excited with a running back because that's a sexy position, right? And Jeremiah Love is a sexy name who played at a sexy university at Notre Dame. And so what do? We watch the sexy schools. We've seen Jeremiah Love play. It's a name. So I think people would be stoked. I think the fans would be stoked with Jeremiah Love. I think the interesting one about Darren Peterson is, though, even if they win the national championship, everybody will paint everybody else as the reason why they won the national championship based on the way the narrative's been on Darren Peterson. So I just think people have their minds made up on him. Though I think if Jeremiah Love gets drafted here, he'll be a fan favorite immediately, and a lot of people will be buying that jersey.
We'll find out. We'll talk to
It happens all the time.
To that guy next here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Fescoe and Dusty is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Fellas, you know what time of the year it is. It's the season of love. Sex, intimacy, and love are essential to fulfilling relationships. Erectile dysfunction, though, can take a serious toll on all of that, stealing enjoyment, weakening intimacy, and placing stress on partners that can feel overwhelming. But ED doesn't have to continue impacting your relationship. Remember, men, it's not just about you. We all understand how important sex is in a relationship for you and for your partner. Erectile dysfunction can take that away, often creating serious strain on the relationship as well. That's why you should go see my people over at Heartland Men's Health. Heartland Men's Health treatments work when the pills or the herbals fail. They have treatments with success rates well over 90%. Some treatments can even have you last an hour or more. Heartland Men's Health is successfully treating men in the Kansas City area. So if ED is affecting you, it's time to get back to the sex, intimacy, and love and bring you closer together. Heartland Men's Health has 3 locations to serve you: Overland Park, Kansas; Independence, Missouri, between Blue Springs and Lee Summit; and North Kansas City. Call them today at 844-447-6600 or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
When the cold sets in across KC, AB May is the trusted name for keeping your home warm, safe, and secure. From furnace repairs to system replacements, we deliver reliable solutions and unmatched care and professionalism. Whether it's a sudden breakdown or routine maintenance, AB May is here to help. Trusted by generations of Kansas City homeowners, we're committed to doing things the right way every time. Call AB May at 913-732-9993 or visit us at abmay.com.
Call your serviceman from AB May.
Spreadsheets, clunky software, 100 different logins just to run your business?
There's a better way. Odoo. One simple, connected platform that handles sales, inventory, accounting, and more, so you can focus on growing, not juggling. Make the switch today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
At LendSeek, we know running a business takes heart, hustle, and sometimes a little help. That's why we stand with you with our exclusive AI lending platform, connecting you to over 100 funders. If you've been in business for at least 2 years with a minimum annual revenue of $500,000, you can get up to $1 million in funding in as fast as 24 hours. No collateral, no prepayment penalties, no red tape. Apply today with no cost or obligation at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
DQ presents The Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ soft serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into soft serve. Plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy, tastes good. Participation may vary.
Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Traffic for DM Entry Law heading into downtown on the Missouri side. 70 westbound gets heavy around Truman, crawls over towards Brooklyn Avenue with an accident blocking 2 right lanes. Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law. How about 3 great reasons? 1, it's easy. 2, it's fast. 3, the results. Mike's got this. 816-888-7500. Mike's got this. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Chewing tobacco, football and boobs. He knows Bobby Bowden, he knows Pete Carroll. He likes the 3-4 defense. He's Jay Quigley. He loves beer and chewing tobacco, football and boobs. He knows Bobby Bowden, he knows Pete Carroll. He likes the 3-4 defense. He's Jay Binkley.
Better believe it is Jay Binkley time on a Wednesday at 6:45. Binkley, I'm sure you were all in on the Brett Veach audio yesterday. I have come to the conclusion I know nothing. They're going to draft Jeremiah Love at the 9th overall pick. They're going to sign Trent McDuffie to an extension. And everything that I talked about for the last 2 months is completely false. What say you?
Those GM interviews are always great. There's actually nothing that ever comes out of them. Beach usually gives one nugget, though. He gives one nugget of their plans. He's done in the past with the hot zone when he's talking about the 2nd or 3rd round, and that's the round. He traded for that extra pick with the Ravens getting in that zone, or running backs. You can get one at the end of the draft or undrafted free agent. And that was Pacheco back in the day. But there's only one question that I think GMs should be asked, and that's how many guys are actually first-round guys? Like how many? Because they all put numbers, 12 of them, 18 of them, whatever, just like Trent McDuffie when they drafted him, because he started sliding into the 20s, and the Chiefs actually had a first-round grade on Trent McDuffie, and that's why they went up to get him. But that's the only pertinent question, I think, for GMs.
So, Jay, speaking of Trent McDuffie, we were talking about that in the last segment. What would you do with Trent McDuffie?
I would try to do whatever I can to keep Trent McDuffie. You think about this defense, and you really want this defense to become solid, and you're looking at the quarterbacks and the quality of quarterbacks in the AFC. Yeah, it was a little bit of a down year for Trent McDuffie, but he's so young, and I think he's got so much ability. But finding good corners is so difficult, and they really wanted Trent McDuffie when he came to the Kansas City Chiefs, and he really hadn't let them down much. There was some times last year, inside or outside, with the ideal position for Trent McDuffie. But as far as making this defense solid, you need good cornerbacks. So having Noel Williams back there, especially, with Trent McDuffie, already being a champion and already, having that kind of mindset. And he's a good dude for this football team, and he's good with the other players as far as teaching in the secondary. So I'm pro keep Trent McDuffie. Because I don't think you can trade. Like, if you do trade him, what are you going to trade him for the Rams and get pick 29, which is essentially a second-round pick anyway? This draft's not very good. So if you make a trade with another team and you get a pick in the 20s, you're kind of getting a second-round pick anyway.
So would you say that you would say that you're keeping Trent McDuffie more so by submission because you can't get what you think you should get for him? So in reality, just giving him the contract extension is more worth it.
I mean, if you got a big-time pick, for Trey McDuffie. This was the 2027 draft, and let's say you got a pick between 18 and 24. That's much different than drafting in 2026, because I think we're going to look back, at this draft in a couple of years and go, man, there really wasn't much in the first round. And so, I just don't want to give Trey McDuffie up. Now, if it's a good pick and a good draft, you have to really consider that move, but I don't think this is a draft to do it.
All right, Jay, you said the draft is kind of changing a little bit. Changed last week, changing again this week. Where are we right now with the latest draft needs for this team, especially with the Rashee Rice situation now?
I think it's 100% on wide receiver. I do. I know that defense is kind of still what people want as far as that edge rusher, but I do think the depth at edge rusher, you can get one there at pick 40. But, they need a wide receiver. They need somebody to break the game open and catch the football, and it becomes even more imperative with Rashee Rice. You got to have guys you can count on. You need to have players you can count on that actually leave St. Joe, that do well in St. Joe, and actually play on the roster at the beginning of the season. That's what they need. I've seen more and more of these mocks. I look at the 25 latest, as you guys know, Bob, and I saw a trend last Friday. It was actually down. It was actually the 10 latest mocks that came out. Only 2 Jeremiah Loves.
Wow.
But then, of course, Mel Kiper, there's only 5 edges or total in this latest one I did, which is crazy. 5 or between receivers and edge, there was only 5. And it was more towards Jeremiah Love now. It was way down on Friday. Then, of course, Mel Kiper puts his mock draft out, and guess what? Everybody sees that. Ooh, Jeremiah Love. Let's go definitely Jeremiah Love, because Mel Kiper picked him. And then, boom, out of 25 latest mock drafts as of yesterday, Bob, 13 of the 25 were Jeremiah Loves. Much different than it was Friday. As soon as the Rashee Rice news came out, it went more wide receivers. Still not a ton, but it went more and went back on Jeremiah Love. But, as soon as the Mel Kiper or somebody like that puts out a Jeremiah Love, boom, everybody does. But it's silly season right now.
Yep.
Really, I'd start really paying attention to some of the mocks once the combine is done and once some of those numbers come out with the 40 times and everything else. And, of course, free agency on March 9th through 11th, legal tampering. That's going to totally change what teams need anyway.
Yeah, you speak of team needs. Maybe it's not the most important need for the Kansas City Chiefs, but somebody's got to back up Patrick Mahomes if and only if he is not ready to go by weeks 1 through, 3, Bink. Do you see a reunion with Gardner Minshew, or is there a name out there that maybe we're not thinking of?
Man, that would be the thing, Doug. I mean, this is the one year, I think, where that actually matters. Instead of the Blaine Gabberts or the Chad Henneys, you're like, okay, that's fine. Just put anybody out there. But with a quarterback in his 30s and a quarterback that went down with a very serious injury, and you don't 100% know the timeline of when he's coming back, those first couple games are imperative, man. They're very important. You don't want to start where the Chiefs did last year, missing the 6 games of Rashee Rice, then Worthy being down 3 of them. They were 3-3. That really set the tempo for the Chiefs last season, how they started, in my opinion. And you don't want that again. If I was betting on it, I would say Mahomes is back early on, with the first game or whatever, because that you don't bet against that guy. That guy's just always going to come back. But I think it's imperative to have that guy. And the quarterbacks just aren't out there. They're clearly not in the draft, and Andy Reid's not going to draft somebody to be the number 2 quarterback of the Chiefs. It's going to be a journeyman, man. It's going to be that Gardner Minshew type. And being here for the year, being behind Patrick Mahomes, being in that meeting room every day, I think that's seriously direction you want to go to. You look at the free agent quarterbacks like a Malik Willis. These are what teams are going to settle for, as they all look for that next Sam Darnold in the magic he created. There's going to be somebody that trades the 49ers for Mac Jones, thinking that Mac Jones is the next 49ers. But the quarterbacks are just so thin in the NFL, and having a guy that's already been with their system is perfect. I would make an effort, unless Derek Carr's got these demands, he wants to be on a competitor and all this. Well, good luck. If you're a competitive team, you have a quarterback. So would Derek Carr come in here and be a backup quarterback? I highly doubt that, or Kirk Cousins, somebody like that. But somebody in here that already knows the system, that's kind of a premium thing, because back-end quarterbacks at the end, like if you rate every team and their quarterbacks, the back end of them are extremely thin. And you look at backup quarterbacks in this league, and they're even a lot thinner. But a guy that's already been with the system and been with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes for a year, yeah, I would lean heavily to bring back Gardner Minshew.
Jay, a big offseason, if you will, for the front office. Brett Veach talked about how the last couple of years they've just been maintaining, and now they get an opportunity to kind of rebuild. What are you expecting from this front office over the next couple of weeks?
I'm glad he said that, maintain, because that's kind of what they did.
Yeah.
If you go back to Super Bowl 57, they did rebuild that, because I'll never forget Brett Veach when he held up that Lombardi trophy at the Super Bowl parade when they beat the Eagles back in Super Bowl 57. He held it up and he said, this is what a rebuild looks like, because they kind of had rebuild. You know, you bring in a Jalen Watson in the 7th round. You bring in Isaiah Pacheco in the 7th round. They literally kind of rebuilt this team by drafting at the end of rounds. Now this is going to be imperative. The Chiefs front office, it's been the one area that has been raided. Like, people have grabbed people out of the front office and are GMs around the National Football League, but that is one of the areas of this team that has suffered with attrition. What can they do? This is by far and away Brett Veach's most important draft, because you can't always use that excuse anymore. Well, drafting at the end of the round and defending the first round and the second round. Well, now it's top 10. But not only that, but you get those extra weeks. So now all your coaching staff can more familiarize themselves, and the scouts are always going to do it anyway, but now they get to know these guys a little bit, and they know who they're going to be looking for in Indianapolis, and that list of a handful of guys that they're really going to concentrate on and interview when they get to Indianapolis, who they see as big fits. But it becomes more and more important. We're going to see how good this front office is. I believe in this front office because they've been able just to basically flip this roster with just a few guys remaining on this roster pre-Patrick Mahomes. They've basically flipped this thing before, and they've done it before our eyes, and no one's really talked about it. Like, they literally have flipped this roster right around Super Bowl 57. They rebuilt it a little bit once they were beaten by the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. They really, really did it after Super Bowl 57, but this is their chance to really do it. You know, picking in premium picks. I mean, they got 3 in the top 74, 140 and 74. This is the chance to shine, I believe, in this front office, but now's the time to see what they can do, because they've had this full off season now and weeks to prepare for the NFL draft. So I'm excited to see what they do.
Bink, we appreciate the time. We're ready for the mock draft to come out with you and Unicero on the character concerns, and we will talk to you next Wednesday, and I will talk to you the rest of the week via text message.
All right, my friends. Take care.
See you, Jay.
That's Jay Binkley. I think he was excited to see Paige Sporanic back on Twitter. She said, sometimes I dress up. Binkley said, oh, man. Coming up on the other side, there have been odds that have shifted for the number 1 overall pick in the draft. Which draft? We'll talk to you about it next year on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Boobs are great.
This is Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan, brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends over at Golden Oak Lending have cured our blues, and they've been curing our blues for the better part of a decade now. We love our relationship with Golden Oak Lending, and you will as well. That's why you have to take their free mortgage checkup. It is risk-free. There's no paperwork or credit card required. It's just a simple phone conversation to find out how much money you could save each and every month. And that's what we do with Golden Oak Lending. We took our first initial mortgage checkup about 10 years ago, and now they call us. When rates start to drop, they'll call us and say, hey, are you interested in refinancing? And they always have a plan better than the one that we're going to get in if they're calling us to offer us a new mortgage. They're never going to put you in a mortgage that's worse than the one that you're in. They're always going to look for the best possible plan for you. And when you refinance with Golden Oak Lending, you'll go 2 months without having to make a mortgage payment, and the average cash-out customer saves $1,104 per month. So take that free mortgage checkup now. Risk-free, no paperwork or credit card required. It's just a simple phone call. 913-890-GOLD. That's 913-890-GOLD, and let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Ever wanted to go to the NBA Finals? Well, now's your chance, courtesy of FanDuel. All you have to do is use your profit boost on an NBA future, and you'll be entered for a shot to win an NBA Finals trip for 2. NBA futures let you lock in your pick for who you think is going to go all the way, whether it's a team to win the championship or a conference title, a tight race in the East or a race in the Western Conference. Maybe you want to look at some of the futures now post-trade deadline. Did Cleveland stell you with the James Harden trade that you should be making a bet on them to win the Eastern Conference? Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. Play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. No purchase necessary. Limit 1 entry. For For Profit Boost token, opt-in required. Must apply a Profit Boost token on select market. Restrictions apply. See full terms, including methods of entry at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
DQ presents the Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ soft serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into soft serve, plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy, tastes good. Participation may vary.
Time is valuable. That's why Lowe's Blueprint Takeoffs turn blueprints into quotes faster. Bring us your plans, and we'll generate itemized material lists to make quoting easier so you can get back to building. Plus, at the Lowe's Pro Desk, you get access to thousands of building materials not sold in store. And when your order's ready, we'll deliver everything to the job site. Improving is easy at Lowe's.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Heading towards downtown 70, westbound still heavy from 27th Street over to 23rd. Then it bogs down again at Truman. Stays heavy over past Prospect with an accident now blocking the right lane. North KC 29 southbound heavy from Parvin down to Armour with an earlier problem. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch all your favorite shows, shorts, and clips. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. KFNZ FM and AM. HD1 and HD2 Kansas City. An Odyssey Sports Station.
Seven o'clock on the dot here on 96.5 The Fan. M-I-Z, baby. M-I-Z, baby. Z-O-U. How about them Tigers last night? Big win. Great game.
Gonna open up the show with Rocky Top. Up at halftime.
Better have that
Joke
M-I-Z
again.
song ready to go, dude. The disrespect.
No, we're not knocking on the door. We're busting in.
See, he's got it.
And we ain't waiting anymore to be champions. We're gonna win, gonna fight, yeah. This is Missouri, yeah. Oh, yeah. Tigers, yeah.
Hell yeah.
What a great banger that was
that
back
was
in the
such
day.
a banger.
It really was.
No, we're not knocking on the
It is. Such a good song.
We're busting in, and we ain't waiting anymore to be champions.
Better SEC team. Mizzou.
Gotta
Not
win,
Tennessee.
gotta fight, yeah.
Yeah, this is Missouri, yeah. We ain't no time, no. We in a hurry. Screw red and blue. Yeah.
So good.
Living rent free in their heads. Yesterday in Missouri, KU basketball was trending in the state of Missouri.
Oh,
Hashtag
classic.
KU b-ball was trending in Missouri. Can't stay out of their domes. And now, with the camping scandal, I'm sure the Antlers are running over here to Lawrence right now.
Do you think Max ever heard this?
I mean, really? Really? Should we expect anything less than the absolute worst luck in the world, the worst refs in the world, the worst calls in the world, the worst bowls in the world, the worst seed in the tournament in the world? We're Missouri fans, dude. We're Tigers. We are destined to continue to fail and be disappointed year after year after year. That's who we are, period. Look at the history. Some Missouri alumni or something back in the long time ago made somebody very, very angry, and I think that somebody's the Lord. And it's just not happening for the Tigers,
Not
man.
happening.
Not happening.
Not happening for the Tigers, no. But they are busting in.
I mean,
Missouri will win a national championship in something, and still Missouri fans will be like, we're getting screwed.
oh, no.
It's never going to work. We'll be terrible next year. But I don't think Missouri will ever win a national championship at anything, so they're not going to have to worry about that.
They won last night. They should be officially punched into the dance.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Lenardi had them as the first four in. They've gone from the last four out to the first four in to now I think they should solidify themselves into the dance. Because last night, if I'm looking at it from a March standpoint, That was a 12-5 upset.
Yeah, we're probably right around there. Yeah,
that's either a 12-5 or a 13-4 upset.
Well, if you're one of the last few in, you are a 12 or a 13 usually, right? Because now they're giving the 16 seeds to all the
play-ins,
the play-ins and stuff. Well, are they still doing that? Aren't there 2 16s as a play-in and then like 2 12s are a play-in?
Oh yeah, this year they're changing
it's like an 11
right?
or something. Like
are they changing it this year? Because
was this year the year? Or was last year the year?
I don't remember, but when they first started it wasn't always because I remember when they announced the play-in games, because we're like, come on, what do we need these for? And they're like, we're all going to see these 16 seeds, big deal. And the NCAA at that time said, no, it's not just going to be 16 seeds. They had 11s, I think, that were playing. Whoever some of the last kind of 4 or 5 teams in or whatever it is, that's how they go about it. But it's never been just the 16 seeds.
Yeah, but it should be. Look, last night, big win, Denny Gates. I think personally, because they've now beat Vanderbilt and Tennessee, didn't get blown out by Arkansas. So I think last night was their official stamp to the dance. I don't think they have to worry about.
Well, it depends on what happens, though. I mean, you lose your next 3 and you get waxed in Tennessee on the first weekend of the first day of the tournament. You're not in.
Yeah, but they have very good. I mean, it depends. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if they completely were to like lose out, I think that's the only way they're out. But they have really big wins on their resume. They've beaten Florida, they've beaten Vanderbilt, they've beaten Tennessee, they beat Kentucky on the road. Notre Dame was a bad loss. KU beat them early on in the season, but KU obviously I think has a chance to possibly see the Final Four if they all play like they did the other night. I mean that's the team that you could see going for a while in the March Madness. I think KU could easily. I think you could put them in the Sweet 16. But if they play like they did against who was that the other night that they had a big one? Houston. They play like that, like total team, and Peterson's there for most of the 30 minutes of the game. That's a dangerous team, man.
Was that the guy who was yelling after the Cags homer?
No, that's Cody being a quarterback to give his his Is anybody jumping off sides?
Starts.
I'm sure he. I mean,
hey Jay, did you see that new Paige Sporanic picture?
Yeah. That's offsides, my man. I tell you, that is a false start right there. What is he doing? Like what is
that's
that?
That's a penalty.
That is a Jawan Taylor false start right there.
Well, he definitely didn't keep his head still. He tried to do the old Elway head nod.
The head nod, yeah. Yeah. The head nod, right? I mean, what is that?
Wait, what is the first?
I told you that's a false start. That is the first time false start. Remember the first time you false started, right? Right there. Jawan, remember that?
So good.
If that was my quarterback, I would probably be Darren Peterson and be like, take me out.
Yeah, I'm done. Guys, wait.
I mean, that's classic.
816 just ran a red light. Cody got my ass. Well done.
Oh, man.
Let me ask you this. Cody is a notorious "do you know who I am" guy, right? He walks around and the man cuts lines. I mean, how many stories we've heard from Cody cutting lines and being a line jumper and walking to the front and acting like, oh, I don't know, I just thought this was where the line was. The stop and chat in the line where you stop, you chat, you think you're going to cut into the line and get to the front. Cody is an expert on that kind of stuff. There were people calling in from training camp years ago that he was cutting the snow cone line up there at training camp. And
was he trying to get Chris Jones one?
This was after the Chris Jones
Hey, I
stuff.
could relate to that for sure.
Yeah, right. People were not pissed at Cody. They were pissed at Cody for cutting the lines.
Yes.
And I mean, yeah, he was doing it for the clicks. And so could you imagine Cody running the KU camping scandal though? Like that to me is right up Cody's alley. If anybody was going to run the KU camping scandal at this station, Cody Tapp would be the guy. He's a notorious line cutter. He doesn't follow the rules. And he's the guy at this station that I think would lead the KU camping scandal that's going on right now.
I agree.
Right?
I'm still dead in my head of the guy saying, Cody got my ass, I ran a red line.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
I mean, this
That's
Riley
an
gal.
underrated text.
This Riley gal's got nothing on Cody Tapp.
No.
Is that his daughter? Do we know?
No.
I'm Cody Tapp's daughter. I'm going to run the KU camping line and cheat.
816 football Pee Wee Herman. That's great.
I know you are, but what am I?
Yes.
Yeah. Pee Wee
that's
Herman
great.
or Cody saying hut.
Exactly. Oh, that's perfect.
Can you come back with the Pee Wee Playhouse theme song too?
Absolutely,
I mean
of
that
course.
that is an all timer
Always.
too. Yeah. I mean, you talk about something that somebody created when they were high as a kite, man. My God, Pee Wee's Playhouse. I watch that on the box every once in a while now. Holy crap! You know who's in Pee Wee's Playhouse? I think is it Sidney Poitier that plays the magician in there?
Maybe. I know that wasn't he in Mr. Rogers too?
I think so. Oh gosh.
So the odds have shifted for college basketball for the number 1 overall pick because, Mac, have you ever seen Bill Simmons go back-to-back days on the pod on the NCAA?
Never happens. Never happens, dude. He's all in on AJ DeBanza again. He's talking about it again.
He's the new favorite now to be the number 1
He
overall
is.
pick over Darren Peterson. The offshore odds came out yesterday, and DeBanza's minus 150 to go number 1. Darren Peterson second at plus 120 to go number 1 overall. So the odds have now shifted. Not that matters, but I think a lot of people now believe, the gambling public, guys, believes that Darren Peterson has created so much, noise around him that he's not going to go number 1. So Vegas is looking at this and they're going, all right, we'll get people to load up on Darren Peterson not going number 1 and AJ DeBanza going number 1. And that's now how Vegas is going to get money on both sides. Like, if you're betting on who's going to go number 1, this last 2 weeks has been a dream for the sports books, man, because now there is kind of controversy about who will go number 1.
Yeah, it's a loaded draft this year because I've been following Carlos Boozer's son, Cameron Boozer, since he started playing college basketball because his resume is insane. Like, from where he came from college basketball, obviously he's always had that field of expertise around him, so quite easily to be attained, but still you got to do it, execute it, still every level stay that way. Like all the national players, the state championships, the AAU team championship, the player of that tournament, now going to be the national player of the year. We know that not going to be number 1 overall. I think what we know is the top 3 picks in the NBA draft are as followed. Either Peterson, DeBanza, then Carlos Boozer, then I think it's Kayla Wilson, and then I think it's the local kid Wagler from Illinois at the 5th overall pick. 5 freshmen. Ding, 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 ding.
Wagler's got the 5th best odds to be the number 1 overall pick behind Caleb Wilson. They're both at 150 to 1.
Wagler's going top 5.
I mean,
he will be a point guard for an NBA team starting next year. It's
6 months ago, nobody knew who he was.
Not a recruit from K-State, Missouri, or KU.
Yeah,
went 25-0, one state.
One state. Yeah, I just don't understand.
And I guarantee you what Bill will say, because it's what he said about Alec Burks when he went to Colorado. Yeah, we screwed that up. Like everybody.
That's a miss.
You miss. It happens.
But it's not just one miss. It's everybody's local miss.
But 100%. Alec Burks was the same way. Yeah. Went on and played in the NBA for 10 years or whatever it was. Nobody locally recruited the kid out of Grandview. We're like, man, how come nobody's recruiting one? Bill's like, yeah, we missed on that one. It happens. People miss on talent all the time because some guys mature when they get to college, right? Some guys in high school, they're just not fully grown, and then they get to college, and you're like, man, that guy grew up over the summer, got in the weight room, put a few more inches on his frame, and now all of a sudden he's taken that next step. He's matured to a level that he didn't have in high school, and that's what's happening with Wagler right now. I mean, he has taken a huge step at 150 to 1 to be the number 1 overall pick. I mean, good Lord, man. Yeah, 2 months ago, he wasn't probably going to be a first-round draft pick. Now, with the way that he's played, they were talking about a top 5 pick potentially for this kid.
Millions of dollars of difference.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Absolutely. And maybe it's better that the schools missed on him, and things happen for a reason. He ended up at Illinois, and, now he may be a top pick in this draft.
Coming up next, we've got One Word with Mac Morey plus Brett Veach audio of where the season could be headed. And
please, Papa.
Other things coming around the corner here on 96.5 The Fan.
Please, Papa.
You're home for Kansas City Sports.
It's not super long.
This is Fescoe and Dusty, brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Your home for K-State Athletics. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends at QC Kinetics are saying, no, it's time to call us. It's time to find a way without surgery to get pain relief. And 40,000 people have trusted the folks over at QC Kinetics, and they have said, stop. Before you replace my knee or my hip, there has to be another way. I'm not putting my life on hold for months. And you know what? With QC Kinetics, you don't have to. They're the nation's leader in cellular-level treatments that revitalize joint tissue naturally. Patients who thought surgery was the only answer are getting their lives back thanks to QC Kinetics' advanced regenerative treatments. Surgery isn't always the solution. QC Kinetics uses safe, natural treatments to activate your body's healing power with zero downtime. So get started now to ease inflammation. And like I said, 40,000 people can't be wrong. So before you say yes to surgery, do your research. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, 816-412-6299.
Hi, I'm Carter.
And I'm Charlie. We'd like to share a quick story about a homeowner named Jack.
Jack had a home he needed to sell fast.
And Jack thought he had it all figured out.
So Jack talked to multiple cash buyers.
Jack chose the highest offer.
But the day before closing, guess what? The buyer backed out,
leaving Jack with the moving truck all packed in the driveway and not sure what to do.
Jack learned the hard way that the highest offer isn't always the right offer.
Jack got suckered.
Make sure you aren't hung out to dry.
Call our dad at Rex Buys KC.
Our dad is local, he knows Kansas City, and he actually closes deals.
No repairs, no fees, no showings, no surprises.
Just a fair cash offer and a smooth process.
Now, don't be like Jack.
Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com.
Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
My friends at Smokehouse Barbecue have two new items that you need to try. First, meet the Pickle Jack Sandwich. We're taking tender smoked ham and melted pepper jack cheese, piled high with our signature pickle fries. It's crunchy, spicy, and smoky as well. And if you need to warm up, how about some Smokehouse chili? It's not your average recipe. It's loaded with our famous chopped burnt ends and savory sausage. And don't forget carryout, which you can order at SmokehouseBBQ.com. Visit Smokehouse Barbecue at Independence, Zona Rosa, and Gladstone. It's Smokehouse Barbecue.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
So, you're ready to propose, huh?
Yeah, man. She's definitely the one.
What are we thinking about the ring? I got my wife's at Hellsberg. I couldn't recommend a better jeweler.
I could use some help with that.
Man, go to Hellsberg. I had no idea how many details you need to consider. Did you know you can get a natural or lab-grown diamond? I didn't. Figure out what she wants. Trust me, they'll make it happen.
Start your story with Hellsberg. Shop in store or at Hellsberg.com.
Jerry Seinfeld is back.
We stream everything now. We don't watch anything. We stream it. Wandering around your workplace trying to recruit new viewers into whatever stupid show you like. Jerry, you gotta watch this show. Okay, I'll check it out. Okay, but the first 4 seasons are not good.
Jerry Seinfeld, live in Kansas City, Starlight Theater, Friday, September 18th. Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at kcstarlight.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Heading towards downtown, 70 westbound, slow rolling from Noland out past 40 Highway with an accident reporting. Past that, things look pretty good into downtown. Earlier accident at Prospect has cleared. Still a little sluggish from Woodland in towards the downtown loop. 29 southbound, still rolling from Armour down past 16th Avenue, but that wreck has also cleared. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it. Well, hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
We asked a question today on the Fescoe and Dusty Wednesday poll question on the Fan 965. What player could change the opinion on them more with these things happening? Darren Peterson takes KU to a Final Four. We saw a text earlier. I am a diehard KU fan. All is forgiven if we do get to a Final Four. I'll love him. There's also people that do not want to see a running back getting taken at number 9 in the draft. There's also a lot of people that wanted Breece Hall, who is now going to be franchise tagged. I think that is a dream you can see flutter away into the distance. So what if the Chiefs took Jeremiah Love at 9? Would that change your opinion on taking a running back at 9 with the name is Jeremiah Love? So far, 74 votes and 74% of people had said Darren Peterson, Final Four. So there's your way, Darren Peterson. You want all forgiven? You want, not that he cares, but it would be kind of funny if KU's going to the Final Four and Darren Peterson has like 46 points in the Elite Eight game.
But what if Darren Peterson doesn't play big in the tournament, right? What if he's just like he was the other night, which is okay. I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, it just becomes a team player. And they win the national championship.
Which I'm not saying he hasn't been that, by the way.
Exactly.
I'm just saying he didn't need his 35.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't need Darren Peterson to go out there and have to score 40 every game. If he just goes out there and scores, 15 to 20 points a game and looks like, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, that's all you can ask for, right? I mean, the impression during the regular season, we get so worked up. Kansas basketball fans, Chiefs football fans, right? Those guys are in the same category right now because for the most part, when you walk into a season right now, save last year for the Chiefs, your expectation should be a Super Bowl, right? And if you're a Kansas basketball fan, every year with Bill Self, your expectation should be going to the Final Four. Those should be your expectations every year when you wake up as a fan of both of those teams. And I think for a lot of folks during the offseason, you think, yeah, Final Four, Final Four, Final Four. And then the regular season, starts, and everybody kind of forgets what the goals are. And the goals are for every team that's on the same level as a Kansas or a Kansas City Chiefs type of team. Your goal is to be playing in that final weekend if you're a basketball team and the final weekend if you're a football team. And anything short of those goals is unacceptable for a lot of fans. But when you're in the course of the regular season and you're getting yourself so worked up over what's taking place on a Tuesday in February or a Monday night in October, and you get so mad at these players, you realize we're still not at the end game yet. Like, we are so far away. But that's the beauty of sports. We get caught up in the moment, and we forget about what the end game is. And if Kansas goes to the Final Four and Darren Peterson's part of this team, he provided everything you wanted as a Kansas basketball fan, and probably then some.
And I want to be clear on this because people on the Twitter page of it's Retro Dad or Retro Gamer Dad 17, how would drafting Love change an opinion on him? So to specify, there are people, a lot of, in Kansas City that do not want the Chiefs taking a running back in round 1. But if Breece Hall is tagged and not an option, let's say that Travis Etienne is no longer an option, then I wonder if your opinion would shift to be like, you know what, I'm actually okay with Jeremiah Love at 9. That's where I'm getting that at. So I understand the confusion that could be there, but that's where we're at. It has nothing to do with Jeremiah Love as a person.
No.
But I think the perspective so far, this entire off season has been D-line, wide receiver, maybe a safety if Caleb Downs were to be there. But now we think he's going to be going lower in the draft than at 9. So that's why I'm saying
he'll be there.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, again, it's the vampire Kuiper. That's,
one mock draft.
Never really that.
And again, he's the other guy. As Binkley even talked about, everybody reacts to Mel Kiper, and everybody knows, like everybody talks about Mel Kiper. He's never right. He's one of the worst draft analysts out there, right, of predicting. But he was always the first. And then he releases a mock draft, and he goes, "Well, Mel Kiper said this." But meanwhile, you were telling me Mel Kiper's never any good at what he's putting out in his fantasy or his mock draft, and so
or fantasy.
Either way, either one works. But if you're going to sit here as a person and go, Mel Kiper, I don't really care what he says because his mock drafts are never right, then you can't overreact when he puts Jeremiah Love going to your favorite team at number 9 because, well, Mel Kiper said it. Yeah, but Mel Kiper's never right. The odds tell you Kiper's going to be wrong on whoever he picks to go to whatever team, Yeah,
because go ahead. Yeah,
no, I was saying that's the other thing. He was all over Shedeur Sanders being a first-round draft pick. And so some of what Mel Kiper says, a lot of people have said, well, maybe the agents and him are having conversations and he's trying to, prop some guys up. So just take it for what it's entertainment. It's fun. It doesn't mean anything at all, though, that just because Mel Kiper said they're going to have a guy taken at number 9, that doesn't mean the Chiefs are thinking like that and shouldn't be thinking about what Mel Kiper thinks.
And the reason I bring that up is because I don't think this comes from the 620. I don't think running back is our biggest issue. They need to shore up the D-line. Exactly.
Yeah, and that's what I am, too.
If you're like, I want the D – and exactly, like, I'm with you. I think Mac's with you. I want the best defensive edge piece that you can add to this team to get younger and more athletic on the defensive line, especially if you're going to bring back Trent McDuffie. That's going to help him out as well. And like Mac had said earlier, putting him in his actual spot of defense, which is covering slot corners, playing the nickel corner or whatever you want to call that. I don't know, XYZ or whatever they are, but like that guy, right? Like in the middle of the field, not on the outside of the field where you've got 6'4" giants just catching toss-up balls against Trent McDuffie, which we have seen. If there is a weakness in his game, that is it.
That's it, 50-50,
Yeah. So, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you want defense, but then all of a sudden you see all these guys gone, and you're like, damn, dude. And then it's like, with the 9th pick, the Kansas City Chiefs select Jeremiah Love, running back, Notre Dame. You'd be like, okay. Like,
that's the reaction. You nailed it. Yeah.
Because then you're going to shift and be like, oh, man, what is it? Light boxes, heavy boxes? What did the Chiefs see? What did the stats you saw, Mac?
Yeah, this is good stuff that I saw yesterday. It's getting me excited about Jeremiah. This is what fans are going to start doing once he gets drafted to the Chiefs. I'm saying when it's going to happen, but we'll see. You know what I mean? Yeah. He faced the lowest rate of light boxes in this draft class last season, 35% of his attempts. When he did face a box with 6 or fewer defenders, he averaged over 9 yards a carry. The Chiefs face the most light boxes in the NFL, over 70% of the time, because they don't believe they're going to run. They don't respect you, and they're just going to go, okay, Mahomes beat us.
But what happens when they do start respecting the run? Then what does that do with your Jeremiah Love stats?
And you got heavy boxes, and now Mahomes is facing man coverage.
Okay, so you're good with that.
Oh, I love it. It's fantastic.
Okay, all right. So the way you just explained it, I went, all right, let's draft them then.
And that's what I'm saying. And then you'll see a highlight of him breaking a tackle, and then you will immediately be like, okay, it's actually going to be awesome. I wanted to run the football. Brett Veach is going to do it.
And
that's how quickly it'll happen.
And that's the Twitter poll question right there.
Yeah, but I think you're right about that. I think, once if he's drafted by the Chiefs, like right now we can say I don't want a running back. There's more issues, which there are. There obviously are. And look, I think if you sign, Etienne in free agency, then you don't need to draft Jeremiah Love at number 9. So next week, the 11th, a week from Monday, when the legal tampering period begins, and we'll see what the Chiefs do in free agency, I do think that will dictate a lot of what they do in the draft, because I don't know. I think it's foolish if you sign a running back and then take one in the top 10. I mean, that's just me. So if they go out and sign a running back, probably not going to take Jeremiah Love. And that's where I'd be interested to hear from Binkley, too. Like, how much free agency is going to change the potential direction of what this organization is going to do. Because, again, if you sign a running back, you don't need one at number 9. And so now you can start looking at some of those other positions that we all covet, like defensive line or potentially a bigger wide receiver on the outside.
Next play. So I did get some context. I text Cody. I was like, can you give me the background story of this quarterback cadence? He said he said we were talking rules for the NFL, and I said it should be a 50-yard penalty when QBs go up to the line to fake snap count before taking the penalty and punting. So then he said, I decided to emulate what they would try to do and to draw them offsides. And that's where you get the false start. Juwan Taylor.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, Brett Veach spoke yesterday. These are the words he used with his off-season plan.
I think every year, I mean, it's a challenge, and we do have some flexibility with how we're set up to do some different things, but it's not like we have $90 million in cap space. We have to execute an efficient game plan in free agency, and then we got to nail these picks, and that'll be important for us to keep this run going. Obviously, we had a step back last year, and everyone was disappointed, but everyone's motivated, and even the coaching staff too. Like I said, the last 3 years we haven't had a chance to really get with them much before the combine, and right after that Vegas game, I mean, those guys were all in, and it was exciting and energetic in a way, just to get out there. And I think the last few years, we were kind of just like in a maintenance stage, and now we're trying to just rebuild this thing again. And I think for a GM and a personnel staff, that's exciting.
So we've heard that now twice after listening to that again, and I hear the same thing Spags has said. We've actually had some time to talk to these guys and figure it out. So again, we talk about, Darren Peterson, hey, you want the narrative to change on what people have to say when it comes to some of your, playing time and all that. And there's people out there that are critical of Brett Veach, what he'll do. We've never seen him at 9. I trust Brett Veach to be the man with all this time. But that's where we're at. It's like, okay, you've had your time. I am going to solidify my trust that you are going to figure this out. And I think that's why a lot of people look at this draft to be the biggest for Brett Veach.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think also, too, that people don't give enough credit to having that time. And winning is awesome, but it also is a scramble. And for 10 years, the Chiefs done a marvelous job of not letting winning really derail anything and get in the way of still winning the following year. It finally caught up to them, this past season, obviously, and then you hit the reset button. It's not normal for teams to go 20 years like the Patriots did and never suffer, a down season or a missed playoffs or anything like that. Like 6-11 is part of the norm for what happens in professional sports. And now you have that opportunity to hit that reset button, which playing in the Super Bowl is great. But again, it is another 6 weeks more than anybody else is playing in the NFL. And you're 6 weeks behind everything and you're focused on games. You're not focused on the combine. And now, since they ended the season prematurely this year, you've had those extra 6 weeks to truly focus on the draft and the combine. And I think with a full kind of focus on this part of the season, I think the Chiefs can be great because when they focus on things and they have the opportunity to put things together, they're pretty damn good at what they do as an organization.
One word.
First name is Blake, and he goes on a cruise. He goes on a Caribbean cruise.
Katie Holmes.
No. Ah!
Are you listening?
What's your least favorite thing about working with yourself?
Body odor. You get one word.
On the count of 3, name your favorite dinosaur. 1, 2, 3. Velociraptor.
This is one word on Fescoe and Dusty.
1, 2, 3.
Oatmeal raisin. Dusty, you're scaring children.
Apparently.
With that soundbite. 785, my child just turned to me and said, "What's that sound?" I still don't know what to tell them.
Are we talking about the Codys? That's your mom and I on a Tuesday.
Oh, no. Don't ruin that kid's day or life.
We get tacos.
Should play the Cody snap count and then play the Shannon Sharp phone video that got left.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Love it.
It's Tiger.
Shout out to Elijah
Johnson.
Finally getting into sports. He loves Fescoe and Dusty. Listens every morning on the way to school. Shout out Elijah.
Way to go, Elijah.
There we go, buddy.
I don't want to meet you someday and you say I grew up listening to you.
Get ready.
That means Bob's on his way out.
Damn right.
That's what Stu Gotts told me at Radio Row. He said, "Damn, dude, you're a legend. You mind if I get a picture?" He goes, "Damn it. Hey, when people call me legends, that means it's coming in to an end."
Yep. Coming fast to an end.
Oh, no.
All right, let's get to it. One word on, we talked about it a little bit earlier, KU campus student drama with tickets and basketball games. There's a lottery system. Apparently.
Like the NBA's?
Apparently, yeah, exactly. This was rigged exactly the same way. Some DMs were leaked. From this girl who was the campus leader or whatever on the student tickets. One word.
Hysterical. I was dying when I read this because, number one, I've got a lot of buddies whose kids are involved in this because they're up there at KU that have been camping for these games. I got another kid that I know kind of involved on the ground floor with all of this stuff. He asked me not to use his name on the air. I'm not going to do that. But, I mean, it's hysterical. I mean, it is so damn funny. And what the funny thing about all of this is the way that the camping leadership of KU tweeted about it and basically put out a press release on this thing. And it says, "We are aware of a message sent by one of our camping leaders describing the falsification of a numbered chip some groups pulled this morning at the lottery. With this being the final home game of her senior year, a selfish action was taken that goes against what ourselves as a group and the entire student body believes in. These two groups have now been moved to the bottom of the order, and Riley will no longer be associated with camping leadership. The integrity of Kansas basketball is essential to us, and we are taking action to keep all lotteries fair and honest. Nothing is bigger than KU basketball, and we will hold our members to the same standard, signed campus leadership, or camping leadership, I should say." So the camping leadership, they threw Riley under the bus.
See you, Riley.
Riley, come plead your case on 96.5 The Fan on a show we call Fescoe and Dusty. Mac Morey will set everything up for you to plead your innocence.
I know every person in this city.
So if you need help with that, my one word, though, is drama. Because, I mean, this is nothing more than college drama. I mean, my biggest drama in college was people pissed about certain bars doing happy hours and certain bars not.
Yeah. So that's your biggest, biggest scandal in college for me was the Crossing only having 2 pitchers on dollar pitcher night. So I had to bring my own. I rectified that fast.
Yeah, that's easy.
What was the biggest drama you did?
I mean, there was a rock in the middle of the campus that lots of stuff was painted on. There was a student that did some actual drama, not good stuff. Yeah, it's great.
That's like
great
real drama. But this stuff at
in
KU,
the South, no way.
Yeah, in the South,
yeah,
really?
right.
Wow.
Shockingly, in the South, there was inappropriateness. But no, this whole thing at KU is the greatest campus drama because for these people that are involved in it right now, this is a big deal.
It's their life right now.
For the rest of us, this is hysterical.
Yeah. Also, good for her for taking the Darren Peterson distraction and putting it direct. That's
right.
Move.
She did. That's what everybody should say, man.
Unselfish move.
Darren Peterson should thank Riley for that move. Yeah.
Courtside seats right behind Bill Self. She just goes to the sectional waves.
Yeah. Do you think Dana camps out for the KU games? I think she would. I think Dana would be up there camping out for the KU games.
One word next.
All right, USA averaged 20.7 million viewers. They peaked at 26 million live viewers for that golden match game against Canada Sunday morning. One word.
America, baby. America got up and watched. It was the highest rated sporting event that started before 9 a.m. in TV history. Now, how many of them have started before 9 a.m. other than the NFL games in Europe? Not many, probably. But still a pretty damn good number. And if that was a 1 o'clock game, you know, more people would have watched. Yeah. Because the entire West Coast was still in bed. That started at 7 o'clock our time. You got California, Washington, and Oregon all asleep because it's 5 a.m. out there. That game starts a couple hours later. That number is a lot bigger.
Yeah, I think it's time and place, one word for both ones, right? Like it's obviously you're playing over in Milan, so it's that early, so it's kind of an anomaly, but also like no one cared, right? It's kind of like when the Chiefs and Dolphins played in Germany. It's going to be a 8 o'clock kickoff for you guys here. Doesn't matter. You will readjust the night before to adjust to the day of, right? Does that make sense? Like Saturday, you were like, I don't need to get too wild. I'm going to be up at 6:45 to watch this hockey game. That's sleeping in for us, so it's easy. But wonder how many people revise their Sunday for that 2.5 hour block, because that's astonishing. 20 million, man, that's great.
It's awesome.
That's great.
Loved it.
Do you know ratings for the Olympics were up 96% from the last Winter Olympics? Now that's because they were in China. The timing was terrible around the world.
Streaming,
you know,
Peacock.
streaming, all that kind of stuff. But I mean, the audience that they got for the Olympics it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal.
I wonder if the Masters peak hits 20 million.
I could see that. I think
Who's
part
playing?
of it depends on the tournament.
Yeah, like it's Sunday, it's Scotty and Rory
exactly.
at like, I don't know, 2 o'clock. I wonder if that peaks at 20.
I think it could get there.
Is Tiger playing on the final day too? Because I
Part
mean,
of it
then it
too,
will
yeah.
definitely peak.
We didn't talk about this. I don't think this will get 20 million. Mayweather versus Pacquiao. They're expected to take place in September at the Las Vegas Sphere. One word.
Woof. Fart. No.
Sad. Get bent.
I don't. I literally will not watch this.
This is sad. Why is this sad?
Well, because like let it go, man. Like it's time to move on, right?
Yeah.
They're
making millions of dollars.
Oh, I know they are, but like
Yeah.
it's also sad for the people that are going to watch this.
That's
too.
sad.
You
I
know,
agree with
like,
that.
People are going to put their boxing pants on and I'm going to watch this fight. Why? Yeah, I don't need to watch that.
I'll miss it.
Boxing has become so irrelevant. As we talked about a couple of weeks ago, nobody knows who the heavyweight champ is. You don't know who the heavyweight champ is, you don't have a sport. Because the heavyweights have been what everybody looks at in boxing all the time. You don't have that heavyweight champ. Nobody knows what's going on there. Yeah, that's a sport that's seen better days.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my one word is woof. Yeah. I'm not interested. I don't care. It doesn't do anything for me. I mean, if you want to watch it and all that sort of stuff, it's just no.
Yeah, you do you, boo, right?
Yeah.
But not for me.
All right, how about ABS? We're a few spring training games in. We've seen our boy Freddie Fermin. He's been calling out umps regularly. He's got such a good eye. There was one that, it was the slightest bit on the corner. Immediately
that
challenged.
one yesterday that was on the corner
With
that just
Fermin?
Charles.
Dude, Fermin is unbelievable.
Well,
no, that one was the one you sent.
Yeah, the one from yesterday's
Dead
game
middle.
down the center of the plate. Ray Charles could have seen that was a strike. I hope these umpires get so embarrassed. They've been on the peak of like looking down on everybody for years and thinking you're better than everybody else. They're finally getting their comeuppance right now. And I like it. That thing was right down the center of the plate.
Dead center.
Like a perfect, just get me over strike one. And the umpire calls it a ball, immediately challenged. They should right down the center of the plate.
Yeah, umps are going to be getting embarrassed a little bit.
Well, so are pitchers and batters. It can be both, because there will be a pitcher that will literally be like,
challenge it. Well, does the catcher have to, or can the pitcher?
It could be the pitcher, it could be the catcher,
Okay,
it could be the batter, it could be from the dugout. I think that's it. Like the shortstop can't challenge.
And
or
you get
anything
how many
like that.
challenges?
You get 2.
A game.
Correct, incorrect, too.
If it's correct, you keep it. Yeah, okay. Incorrect, you lose it. But
and there's no discussion like pitchers and catchers, because that way I haven't seen it. Just hold up the hand.
So how it goes? If you're at Kauffman Stadium, right, and you have your serve side in your hand, and you see Salvador Perez tap his head, that big crown. They will step out of the batter's box. The catcher will take his face mask up. They'll look at the crown. They'll show and it'll be like, ball. That's it.
Yeah, it's extremely fast. I
love
it.
It takes 2 seconds. You don't even know what happens.
It's fantastic. I guess I'm just thinking about from a team strategy standpoint.
Yeah,
it's
so
like,
teams are
Salvi
talking
just
about
makes that decision.
No, teams are talking about that. I've been reading a lot of what Terry Francona has been saying about it, and it's going to be something that is a group consensus. Now, you don't have obviously much time to do it, but it can't be like if you're pissed off and you go up there as a batter and use one of these challenges. Because you're mad. You can't do that kind of stuff because then you're costing your team. So it's going to be a situation where they kind of come to a consensus. But again, it's a 20-second pitch clock, so it's got to be very, very fast to do that. I'm sure the batter, they'll look over real fast and, okay, go, and do it and see what happens. But, yeah, it's supposed to be a consensus is what teams are doing. I just don't think you can allow your players to go rogue with that because they're going to have their emotions and their feels, and it wouldn't be
That's kind of what I was thinking.
the best,
I just can't wait until the bases are loaded, 3-2 pitch, and it's an ABS review in the bottom of the 9th. And it's like, check it. Ball. Go ahead and cross home plate. Game over. Coming up on the other side, Face Off. I want to describe what that is. Not the Nick Cage, John Travolta movie, Peach for Hours, but local and national faces here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Oh, gosh.
Fescoe and Dusty.
Debbie Hardy's is closed. Well, that dog.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-894-7722. That's 800-894-7722. Again, 800 894-7722.
When you choose CertaPro Painters, you're not just hiring a service, you're partnering with a trusted local professional with over 70,000 five-star reviews to make your house feel like home. And that's exactly why we chose CertaPro Painting for all of our painting needs and why our friends and family have done the same. Each CertaPro painter is independently owned and operated right here in Kansas City. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Let's get it! You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Time is valuable. That's why Lowe's Blueprint Takeoffs turn blueprints into quotes faster. Bring us your plans, and we'll generate itemized material lists to make quoting easier so you can get back to building. Plus, at the Lowe's Pro Desk, you get access to thousands of building materials not sold in store. And when your order's ready, we'll deliver everything to the job site. Improving is easy at Lowe's.
Get 5 quarts of Valvoline Full Synthetic Motor Oil and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $36.99. Limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Have you ever wanted to go to the NBA Finals? Well, now's your chance, courtesy of our friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app. All you need to do is use your profit boost on an NBA future, and you'll be entered for a shot to win an NBA Finals trip for 2. NBA Futures, lock in your pick on who you think is going to go all the way, whether it's a team to win the championship or win the Western or Eastern Conference. Maybe you think that San Antonio is going to upset OKC out west. Maybe you got any idea who's going to come out of the Eastern Conference. Maybe you like Boston with the possible return of Jason Tatum. Whatever your bet is for the future, visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. Remember, play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 of President, Missouri. No purchase necessary. Limit 1 entry. 4 Profit Boost token. Opt-in required. Must apply Profit Boost token on select market. Restrictions apply. See full terms, including methods of entry at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Kansas side, 435 southbound, sluggish at K32, gets heavier past Holiday Drive, stays heavy down to Midland with construction. And then on the Missouri side, 29 southbound slows from Parvin into the downtown loop. Accident reporting around Levy, adding to delays. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Let the fun begin, it's time to let down your hair. TV short, it's tight, those friends have been invited to the wacky TV Playhouse. There's a crazy rhythm coming from Puppet Land. There you do a cool cat, chicky baby on a puppet band. You got a couple of talking fish, and the genie who grants a wish. Chloe is cuckoo. Chloe's
And they wonder why our generation was a messed up mess growing up. My sister sent me this yesterday, which I find very funny. And it's a tweet from @LloydLegalist, and it says, "Therapist, did you experience any anxiety when you were a child?" And she said, "Well," and then it's all this stuff that we experienced, as a kid, from like weird like Martians to the game Perfection to the missing kid on the milk carton to the the kid climbing the rope and this like creeper from what was the name of that? That person was on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I think.
Oh yeah, that's the castle. Not the castle, but the
Tuesday, Queen Tuesday, or whoever that was. They also had a guy on Mr. Rogers, which I look back now, like Mayor McFeely. Like I think that was
not Mayor McCheese.
No, not Mayor McCheese. It was like Mr. McFeely. It was Mr. McFeely, and I think he was the postman back on that show. But yeah, like our generation, you want to know why we have anxiety because of all this crap we had to deal with as a child growing up, and that was our entertainment. Pee-wee's Playhouse, which was as bizarre as it gets. Have you watched that, Doc?
I have not.
I got like 3/4 the way
About
through
what
it.
I did too.
And then it just kind of got to the point where I'm like, okay. He was just, the best synopsis I can give you is that he was a independent, like free-spirited actor that finally succumbed to this role.
Yeah.
And then it took off and he could never be anybody else again.
Yep.
And then basically he does this entire documentary. Plus he had the scandal of the theater.
Well, that's why big reason I don't go to movies is because of him.
And I think there's worse stuff in the theaters than that. But But no, and then it basically like they tell you in the doc, like, by the way, he didn't tell any of the producers that he was dying.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Like he didn't tell anybody that he had cancer and he was, going to be
Which
gone
I'm
soon.
totally into that move nowadays because like we've seen these people that have passed away. What's the guy that played Black Panther?
Chadwick Boseman.
And everyone's like, wait, he died? He's like, yeah, dude, he's had this illness for a while, but it was nobody's
colon
business.
cancer, another guy.
Yeah,
too soon with colon cancer.
And it was just nobody's business. So, my sister is older than I am. She's 3 years older than I am. She grew up. She had the doll.
Oh, the doll. Let me tell you, my sister had that doll
because it made her freak out. Imagine, like, you go to bed, you're like, oh, yeah, it's my Pee-wee. And you wake up, oh my God.
My sister had the doll too, right? And it became a big thing in our family that to this day, my dad will still look at me and go, I hate the Pee-wee. I go, yes, because I hated it too because you pulled that damn string. I know you are, but what am I?
I thought it was.
Also, have you ever seen Jim Carrey do the impersonation of Pee Wee Herman?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's spot on, dude.
Perfect.
I had a foil ball when I was younger. I wanted to get a big ass foil ball like he did, but watch that now. Just go back and watch it. You got a genie with a head. You got a talking chair. You got Samuel L. Jackson that shows up as a cowboy. Like it's, and then you got the secret word of the day. And so anytime somebody says the secret, maybe we should start doing that. The secret word of the day, and everybody starts screaming, and then caller number 5 wins, $50 or something like that. Maybe we should get back into.
Somebody says Lawrence Fishburne was Cowboy
Lawrence
Curtis.
Fishburne, yeah. What did I say? I said Sidney Poitier, Lawrence Fishburne.
Sidney Poitier was on Mr. Rogers when they did the iconic scene of both men putting their feet in the water.
Okay.
Or Mr. Rogers, yes.
To break the racial divide.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Because if you watch another good, it's like a biofilm. It's Tom Hanks playing Mr. Rogers.
I have not seen that, and I hear it's awesome. I guess I got lost on that. I don't know why I never watched that one. Thank you for that reminder.
Yeah.
But I think with the Pee-wee's Playhouse thing though, I mean, like this, the secret word of the day was so weird, and the whole thing. I mean, the flying bike and
the movie bangs.
The movie's really good.
Yeah,
I love
Big
the
Adventure.
show. I loved it.
Yeah.
My favorite part that makes me lose my mind every time in the movie is 2 points. Number one, when he puts the big ear on the shop, he's like, ha! And then he puts the giant hitchhiker's thumb on. He's like, I don't know why that's so funny to me, but it just cracks me
Mine's
up.
the Large Marge. Tell him Large Marge sent you.
Better believe it.
And
Au revoir, Pee-wee. Au revoir, Simone.
Yeah. I mean, and then like every show, every Pee-wee's Playhouse ended with the genie going, Mecca lecca hi, Mecca hiney ho. Mecca lecca hi, Mecca hiney ho. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, and we watched it. And we loved every minute of it. Guy was weird.
You got to have a certain, I don't know, to play that character.
Yeah,
that
of course, that long and be an adult and run around like a child like that. I know you are, but what am I? Hey, Jerry.
So I want to get into. We've only got a short time before we get the 8 o'clock block and go to commercial, but I want to get this face-off conversation in here because I think there is a way. Stop me if you've heard this before. That maybe the best baseball player and the best football player play in the same parking lot for now, but they play in the same parking lot, right? Bobby, Patrick, right? We know that. Who's the face of the NBA, Mac? And please tell me the right answer as of right now, today.
Yeah, I'd say Victor Wembanyama's getting into that atmosphere.
And he will excel that role because I am very concerned in 28 when the U.S. play the French team in the Olympics in Los Angeles. That will be if that game's on at 7 a.m., there's a good chance we see.
That's
right?
5 a.m. LA time. NBA players ain't getting up for that.
No, that'll be a prime. That'll be a prime
that'll
time
be a
game.
7 o'clock game.
But at that level of the stage,
9 o'clock here.
Right,
oh, that's too late.
Wembanyama will then take off even more so, especially
100%.
if he plays the way he could possibly play. Wembanyama will be the face of the NBA, right? So then you move on to because that's an Olympic stage, right? Like look at the Hollabach. Last night he got the presidential honor of freedom.
Medal of Freedom. How cool is that, right?
Medal of Freedom.
That's awesome.
World stage, right? Yeah. Things change dramatically. And then you look at baseball. What's getting ready to happen? The World Baseball Classic, right? World stage.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially the Olympics of baseball. This is as close as we can get, right? Even though I think baseball should be. 2028, it will be in the Olympics. But again, this is kind of where the topic stays fresh.
Do we know if major leaguers will be in? Because we've got this new CBA yet, and
we don't know yet. But it might be after this year, the next time we see major leaguers play baseball.
Be. But if you're a major league baseball player, you better demand to be in the Olympics.
Right. So you look at what Bobby Witt Jr. could possibly do in the World Baseball Classic. Mike Trout is no longer that player in baseball. Bryce Harper is no longer that player in baseball. I'm saying from a perspective of can gain more popularity. Trout and Harper can stay relevant in their area, but Bobby Witt Jr., we saw what the home run derby did to Americans watching that, and everyone's like, oh, man, this guy really is a solid baseball player. Bobby Witt Jr. puts on a show, and the United States wins gold. Let's say he has a home run in the gold medal game. Who will be the face of baseball? Is it Shohei Ohtani?
Yeah, I think so.
But Bobby Witt Jr. would have an argument.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
right?
Yeah. I think Shohei's going to be tough to upset as the kind of
now
face.
where I don't think it's tough is because the language barrier.
True. Yeah.
And I think that does play a fact in when people follow the sport, at least from this area. Now, obviously, Japan, huge. Baseball, everything. Football, there is no Olympics. But the Super Bowl is so damn big, it might as well be the Olympics of football.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes has already done that 3 times as he won gold. Who's the face of the NFL?
There's no question.
Yeah.
So not only do you maybe
Travis
have
Kelce.
2 of the best athletes in the same parking lot, you might have 2 of the faces of the world on 2 sports in American major sports, in baseball and football, because of what athletes can succeed at the world stage. So Bobby Witt Jr. goes out there and just absolutely destroys the World Baseball Classic, and Team USA wins gold, and he's a major part of it. And now his name is out there, like we're talking about, that the old boy that got the goal and old boy that was saving all the goals, like all these guys, right? Like Jack Hughes and Hollabach. Those were names I didn't even know existed until Sunday morning. And partially that's my fault. But that could be the same thing that you could say as a baseball person that's not really understanding who Bobby Witt Jr. is. And maybe that's something you could say about, a guy like Victor Wembanyama, where, yeah, he's Team France, but he's going to make people hate, and he's also going to make people love and respect. And that's also something that Bobby Witt Jr. can do, and that's something that we've very well seen Patrick Mahomes do.
Yeah, I just wish Bobby Witt had the personality of Vinny Pasquantino. Then he would absolutely 100% be the face of Major League Baseball. But that's not who he is. He's just a baseball player. But if he had that personality side like Vinny has or Salvi has, man, he would be a superstar in Major League Baseball. And so, if you're looking at something for Bobby to work on, get out of your shell a little bit more. But hey, that's who he is, right? You can't say anything about who somebody is as a person and make them into somebody that they want to be. His skills will carry him. But I think also, too, if he had that personality of Vinny Pasquantino and played at this level, that would be a rare player in all sports because you don't normally see guys that have it like that, right? And so Bobby's going to be just fine. He's going to play baseball. He's going to be one of the great baseball players that we've seen, obviously, in this town. I hope the national stage will appreciate him as much as we appreciate him here in Kansas City. But with baseball, you tend to only appreciate your own,
We also appreciate people that are in Indianapolis, and today we dive into Matt McMullen, who is there at the Combine in Indianapolis. That's a tough one.
Hard to say.
In Indianapolis is Matt McMullen. Hey, what's going man here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
This is voice of the Wildcats, Wyatt Thompson, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for K-State Athletics, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Low testosterone can be a real problem for many men. It causes poor sleep patterns, decreased energy, low sex drive, and it makes it really hard to stay in shape. And as we all know, a healthy body is very important to our overall health and well-being. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if some or all of these symptoms sound like you, we can likely help you be done with low T. We can also help you lose weight, support your metabolism, improve your gains in the gym, and more with our new targeted body composition plans featuring GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more. Our low T protocols, applied in conjunction with our body composition plans, will help most men see real improvements, true weight loss, higher energy, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and a renewed sex drive as well. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Legendary doesn't happen by chance. It happens because it's what BetMGM does. Sign up for BetMGM using bonus code DUSTY and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. Get into hockey, basketball, and more of your favorite sports with same-game parlays. That's what I do. I love it a lot. Live betting and more. Earn BetMGM reward points on every single bet. Take advantage of offers found nowhere else, and keep an eye out for your rewards dropping in your account throughout the year. So again, sign up with bonus code DUSTY and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. BetMGM, make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsible. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. New customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-269-3454. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-269-3454 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-269-3454 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-269-3454.
This update is brought to you by Ollie's Bargain Outlet.
Ollie's deals are so good, you won't believe the prices.
This has to be a joke.
It's no joke. Ollie's Bargain Outlet sells famous brand name merchandise at up to 70% off the fancy store prices. Hurry in.
Ollie!
Good stuff, cheap!
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Kansas side, 435 southbound, gets heavy at K32, stays very slow down past Shawnee Mission Parkway with construction. Lee Summit, US 50 westbound, gets heavy at 291 south, stays slow not quite to 3rd Street with an accident reporting. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
If you're looking for more NFL draft coverage, go subscribe and follow the Character Concerns podcast with Bink and Chris on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. This is your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Back at it here on 96.5 The Fan on a Wednesday. So As we do every single Wednesday, we bring it up at the top of the hour before we get to Matt McMullen.
I'm loving it. Well, hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
We brought up on the text line earlier, it's kind of lengthy and wordy, so I just want to be as clear cut as I possibly can. Would the opinion change on one of these two athletes more if Darren Peterson took Kansas to the Final Four, or if the Chiefs couldn't get a running back in the offseason because of franchise tags, too much money, and they ended up drafting Jeremiah Love? And the reason I say Jeremiah Love, nothing to do with his, obviously his personality or his who he is as a person. There's just a lot of people that are like defense or wide receiver or defense or defensive line or defense and don't want to take a running back 9th overall. Could be a possibility. Would your mind shift towards like, actually, I'm not super pissed about this pick. I'm not even pissed about this pick. I think he can be okay because I listened to, Mac Morey say he can, take a home run hit against a light box. He can also take a home run hit against a loaded box. And that means there's more defenders up front when it's loaded. That means there's less when they're away. And the Chiefs obviously see a lot of light boxes when it comes to Patrick Mahomes playing quarterback. But the Chiefs have never seen Patrick Mahomes get injured the way he did in this offseason. And now we bring in our guy, Matt McMullen of the Kansas City Chiefs. And Matt, how important is this offseason, not only for Brett Veach, but maybe for Patrick Mahomes?
What's up, guys? Well, first of all, good morning from beautiful Indianapolis.
Did you run up the expense account yet?
Well, it's getting up there for sure. Not cheap to eat in this city. We've already had the whole St. Elmo's experience where you get like 2 shrimp cocktail and a steak, and it's like $1,000.
Jeez.
Who picked up the tab?
We'll see about that one. It's kind of a collective effort.
Who's got the alligator arms and who's reaching for the tab?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to Jason, one of our guys that does the franchise. He was quickly trying to get some points on his card for that one. I think he's trying to plan a vacation in the future and racking up some points here. But yeah, it's been great. This event's always a lot of fun, just because it's like the whole NFL world comes together for a few days. And for me, we're trying to turn the page to next year, and this kind of really feels like the beginning of next year and the beginning of getting back on track. This offseason, I think, is a great opportunity. And to your point, Dusty, it's an opportunity to set this team up, not just for next year and to help Patrick Mahomes out next year, but to set this team up for another 5, 6, 7-year run. And I think that begins right now. So I'm excited about this opportunity, just a matter of seizing it.
So what do you think they're going to do at number 9? Like, where are you leaning as just a dude, man? Like, you're looking at number 9. Like, what would be the perfect pick for Matt McMullen?
Yeah, well, I think it's difficult to answer that right now because there's so much stuff that still has to happen. I think the next few days are big because our front office executives, Brett Veach, the whole crew, they've been working on these prospects for months and months and months, and in the area scouts case, years. But this is their first opportunity to really sit down with these guys and kind of figure out what makes them tick. I think that's important. You get medical information here. That's important and informs your decisions. But I think also how free agency goes will inform a lot of how the draft weekend goes, because if you're able to supplement your roster and put yourself in a position where you don't have a glaring need, like you have to take a certain player. I think about last year, for example, like left tackle was an obvious spot this team needed to get better. Well, we didn't just count on hopefully getting Josh Simmons in the draft. They went out and got Jalen Moore, and then you take Josh Simmons, and that's kind of a luxury pick there. I think a similar thing will hopefully happen this year, where the Chiefs will go out in free agency and give themselves an opportunity to really take the best player available. Long way of saying, looking at this draft, depending on what happens in free agency, a player I like a lot right now is Caleb Downs from Ohio State, the safety, just because he's like a do-it-all kind of player. I think if you look at most of the great defenses in the NFL right now, they have a player like that. Like look at Seattle with Nick Imamori, a guy that can obviously cover, but he can cover tight ends. He can be physical at the line of scrimmage. He can blitz off the edge, cover the slot, stuff like that.
And so did all that as a rookie too, Matt.
Exactly, yeah. And I think Caleb Downs is kind of like a ready-made player. Now, do you take a safety that high? I don't know with the positional value, but here in February, when there's still so much work to be done, Caleb Downs is a guy that I like a lot.
Yeah, that's a good one. Obviously, I'm a fan favorite of his as well. And Kuiper has him going number 2 overall. He's wrong about life. So I just want to know, like, from your perspective, because I do believe and really believe that, like, Justin Reed leaving, the organization knows they made a mistake by letting him kind of walk out the door. They misread that one for what he truly meant to the defense. Can Caleb Downs downs, be that guy that comes in and replicates kind of that field general that Justin Reed was that really wasn't out there last year?
Well, I think this time of year is when you figure those things out, right? I think the interviews here are so important because there's two different kinds. You have the formal interviews where you have the players, they have 20 minutes with the front office and the coaching staff to answer any and all questions. And the informal interviews, which is kind of just like organized chaos where everyone's in a big room like a mixer and you can just go up to guys and talk to them for a few minutes. But do you make the most of that time and kind of figure out what these guys are all about in the 20 or 15 minutes that you have? And I've been asking some of our front office guys about past combines where there are situations where you met a guy and you're like, hey, this guy is a chief. And for our people, they say you can really find out in the first couple of minutes if they're going to buy into our culture and be what we're all about. And talking to Mike Brabway in our front office, he was saying, when I met Creed Humphrey for the first time, like right away, I'm like, that guy's a chief. Trey Smith, similar thing. Nick Bolton, similar idea. So I think a lot of those questions about leadership and the intangibles, they get answered this weekend as much as we make the whole thing about like the 40-yard dash and the vertical jump. I think if you ask anybody who works in an NFL front office, the interviews are way more important than whatever someone does out there on the field this weekend.
Talking to Matt McMullen, who is live in Indianapolis for the NFL Combine. Matt, you kind of mentioned a little bit of what I wanted to ask you because everybody kind of has their niche when it comes to the Combine. What, outside of maybe hearing these young men talk before they go into a league where they will be asked to talk almost every week or Sundays, what kind of sticks out to you the most now that you've been doing this for quite a while? I mean, you're no young chicken in this thing anymore. You're kind of a vet in this field. Like, what opens your eyes? Like, I know a lot of people will go to the 40-yard dash, but what is Matt McMullen when he goes to these combines? What does he look for first?
Hey, guys, I turned 33 on Friday, okay?
Hey, happy early birthday, dude.
Grandpa.
Hey. Thank you. I know, right? There's been times where the combine works out where it's over my birthday, and I'm not a big birthday guy, but still, like being in Indianapolis, like by yourself for work during your birthday is not always the best. So I am glad I'll be home by my birthday. But to answer your question, for me, I think it's about how these guys handle their media sessions. I know that's not a huge deal, but to your point, I think if you're going to be a high-profile player, and certainly a guy taking a 9 is a high-profile player, I'm curious how you handle all of the attention. And I think what's kind of interesting about the whole like transfer portal and NIL world that we live in now in college football is a lot of these guys are kind of seasoned pros in terms of how they handle all that stuff already. And in a lot of ways, you wonder how maybe 10 years ago, how a player will handle himself if he all of a sudden is a multimillionaire. Well, a lot of these guys coming into the league already are already multimillionaires, and they already know how to spend their money. You kind of see how they handle that situation. And same thing with being scrutinized by the media. If a player is playing at a big-time program and maybe transferred in, like we see so much now, and got a big NIL deal, how did they handle all the scrutiny that came with that? And I think that actually prepares guys for the NFL. I mean, some handle it really well, some don't. And you have a real world example of how they dealt with that whole experience, which I think is interesting. So I think it's kind of a continuation of that. Obviously, all the drills are interesting. Who's going to run the fastest 40, have the highest vertical jump, all that stuff. Like, I think that's interesting. But I'm really interested in how these guys carry themselves because, especially early on in the draft, all these guys are good. They're all good players. We know that. So who's going to carry themselves the best and who can be the best person to plug into this team right away and get us back on track.
So what is the craziest, most insane, fun rumor you've heard so far? Because it's a lot of spewing nonsense out there this week.
I'm probably the wrong person to ask for that. It is funny how when you walk around here, because the city is big enough to host this event, but it's small enough that just about everywhere you look, you see someone that you're used to seeing on TV or a coach or, whatever it may be. So if you go out to the restaurants around here, like we were joking around about earlier, or any of the bars or anything, you walk in, you're going to see about 50 people that you know. So if anyone's interested in learning some NFL rumors, just come to Indianapolis and go out to a steak dinner, and you'll probably overhear the craziest thing ever, just a booth or so over. But I'm not sure I've heard any crazy rumors yet. I'll keep my ears peeled.
Last one here for you, Matt. Mahomes is getting older too, just like you. Are they still saying that quarterbacks make the Mahomes type of throw, or have we moved on to somebody else's name that gets used now?
No, I think Patrick will be the standard for a very long time. Where every single time they see a player that makes some kind of off schedule, off balance throw. It's like, this guy's the next Patrick Mahomes. My answer to that is there is one and only Patrick Mahomes, and there will never be another one. And we're very fortunate to have him in Kansas City. But like I mentioned earlier, with him coming off the injury, this whole offseason is a great opportunity to set him up for success. And one thing that Brett Veach talked about yesterday is he really emphasized the need to establish an explosive running game this year. And that helps Patrick for a variety of reasons. Obviously, he hands the ball off. A guy breaks off a 40-yard run. That's good. But one stat that I dug into a few months ago is we had the fewest passing yards on play action of any team in the NFL last year. And I think one of the reasons behind that is because if our running game wasn't explosive, I don't think our play action game was forcing linebackers and safeties to creep up, right? They were just playing the pass. I think if we can get an explosive running game next year, which I think is definitely doable this offseason, it's going to help this team exponentially, and it'll help Patrick Mahomes exponentially, especially coming off the injury. So I think that's one of my top priorities right now, finding an explosive running game. Obviously, want to improve the defensive line and the pass rush as well, but finding an explosive running game this offseason, I think, is one of the top priorities, and Brett mentioned that yesterday.
Well, Matt, we appreciate you keeping us as one of your top priorities and joining us.
Thanks, Matt.
Anytime, Matt. Take care. Enjoy Indianapolis and enjoy the gossip around all the rumors.
Appreciate you guys. See ya.
That's Matt McMullen there joining us on 96.5, The Fan for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Jeremiah Love, number 9, Chiefs.
Try to tell you. Coming up next, we've had a moose, a rally mantis, and now we've got a rat. That's right. 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Royals.
You're listening to Bob Fescoe.
I'm surprised nobody punched him in the jaw yet.
And Dusty Likens.
He's a hoe, and I want that known.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends over at the Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 are here for everybody in the Kansas City community, because their mission is to build strong partnerships between their members, their business partners, and customers and community. And there's absolutely no cost to become a partner contractor with the Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2. If you're an HVAC contractor, they'll provide a flexible workforce for your project demands, timelines, and economic conditions. The Sheet Metal Workers will help adjust the size, skills, and deployment of your workforce to maximize effectiveness during the times you need it the most, giving you the power to bid for every project that suits your business model. The Sheet Metal Workers will provide the best trained manpower specifically for the HVAC industry, along with training for your current employees. And Local 2 has spent over 137 years developing relationships within the communities they serve. So there's no downside. It's completely free with zero obligation. Just straightforward information on how they can help grow your business and profit margins. Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2. We're an old union with a new perspective on business. Learn more at sheetmetal2.org.
DQ presents the Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ soft serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into soft serve, plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy tastes good. Participation may vary.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The greatest insult the Colonel ever suffered was being served a wrap that was just a snack by a friend. So he took 2 crispy tenders, lettuce, tomatoes, and pepper mayo, and wrapped them in a soft tortilla. It wasn't a snack, it was a meal. He called it a twister, and never called that friend again. The Colonel lived, so we could chicken. The Twister, now back at KFC, classic or with bacon. Also try it spicy. It's finger-licking good.
Prices and participation may vary. Another app for inventory, one for CRM. Oh, don't forget accounting. Wait, which login was that?
Or you could use Odoo, one fully integrated system that does it all without the hassle. Ditch the app overload. Get everything your business needs on one platform. Try Odoo free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
The second I see that Chick-fil-A text in the group chat, I'm throwing my shoes on and running out the door. Hey, I'm Layla.
And I'm Kaylin.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is
how it feels like an easygoing morning.
The chicken adds the most flavor. It's juicy and seasoned.
The biscuit is just very light and airy and fluffy, just like a cloud.
I also love to put jelly on mine so it's sweet and savory.
It's a good start to the day.
Mornings are a little bit brighter with the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit and Simply Orange juice. Available on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Liberty Mutual customized this song for you. Like your car insurance, it's custom too, yeah. Liberty Mutual's got the coverage that could save you money. Thanks to Doug and Limu, well now you can go and take that cruise. Liberty, 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 yeah.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Kansas side, 435 southbound. Construction around Shawnee Mission Parkway. Keeping things off again, on again slow. Back to Wood End. 435 eastbound. Heavy from 69 Highway over to Metcalf with an accident reporting. Westbound 435, also an accident at Metcalf. Keeping things pretty slow. Basically back to Holmes. Off again, on again. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Well, we got to give a special birthday shout out today to our friend Rob Maloney's daughter, Amy, celebrating her 15th birthday today. So from all of us to you, Amy, a very happy birthday. I hope it's a wonderful day. Demand that your dad give you $1,000 in cash because he has it on his person at all times. So make sure you get that $1,000 cash from your dad. Make sure you get the dinner that you want. Don't let him take you to someplace you don't want to go. You get to pick the meal. You get to pick the cake. It is your day, and you can double flex at your father for that. So, Amy, happy 15th birthday. We love you, kiddo. Enjoy school, enjoy your birthday, and enjoy that man, Rob Maloney.
Yeah, happy birthday. Spoil the hell out of her, Rob.
Seriously. Go for it, Rob. I know you told me you were going to take her on that trip. Make sure you announce that to her right now.
Oh, my God.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, take her to the Trap.
Steak night.
Get her a pizza. Dude, steak night's back at Hy-Vee.
Yes.
I didn't know I got hit with that out of
Thursdays,
nowhere.
every Thursday.
I went there last Thursday to pick up food for dinner and to make it the house. And I was like, oh, no. I opened the door and I was like, kind of want a steak.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So
good. The one that you cooked the other day, though. Really nice job.
I kind of overcooked it.
Where you did it in the cast iron, you said, right? And it's hard. It's not easy to do, right? And
Max said I got an eye roll from his fiance because she's like, is he like trolling? Because that looks perfect.
It looked really good.
Yeah.
It bent.
No, he's doing the thing, which I know he's a good cook, so he's got the perfection, but he's doing the thing that's the worst to other people where it's like, oh, only a little bit of pink. Oh, so sorry.
I saw that picture that Dusty sent me, and I said, and the first thing I thought of, honest to God, was like, God, I'd love to have somebody come over and cook me a meal. I don't care what it would look like. If that's considered over, that would have been delicious.
That would have been fantastic.
Right?
Crust looks
and
immaculate.
if you're making food for somebody and they complain about it, they can go F off. Seriously, like if you served that to somebody and they went,
no, it was very delicious. It was just a perfect medium, and I would prefer medium rare.
Medium rare, that's all right.
Now, the outside edges, that was pure center cut. That was a 5-minute rest, and that's what the result was.
How long did you cook it on each side for?
About 2.5 minutes.
2.5 minutes on each side.
So I came to two realizations. One is I'm obsessed with Worcestershire sauce.
It's so good. The Liam Perrins is the good stuff.
It's got to be in the paper wrapper.
Yep.
That's the only.
That's how you
bottle,
know it's classy.
because they only have two. They have two bottles. One that's just the plastic bottle with the paper outfit. The other has the paper. You take the little gold strip off.
Yeah, that's the better stuff.
That's what I love. And I also realize, and this is very tough for me because I am a charcoal grill savant. I will stand by Weber's till I die. The best way you can cook a steak is in a cast iron skillet.
I need you to help me.
Okay. Very easy.
Because I get the skillet hot, but then I see all the smoke and then I start to panic.
So you need to use avocado oil.
Yeah.
It doesn't burn as bad.
Right.
Turn that little vent on above your stove.
Of course, yeah.
And then open up your kitchen window, which I know you have plenty of those. And you
Yeah.
have one right kind of next to the grill or
Yeah.
to the stove.
Yeah.
And then, it just airs out. Now your house is going to smell like you cooked a steak.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, darn.
Yeah,
Right.
right,
But
yeah.
normally your clothes are in the closet. They're not in the kitchen, so
Sure.
they shouldn't reek. But
Right.
no, I came to that realization. So yeah, I got the 12-ounce ribeye. Did the avocado oil, made my pan super hot.
No butter, no tallow, no
Not till
nothing.
like towards the end.
Okay.
So sear it down hard, 2 minutes, flip it, 2 minutes, and then after that 2 minutes up, I'll flip it again. Then I'll throw like the chunk of butter, the garlic, and the thyme in there, or rosemary.
Right.
And then you do the splash I did it for a minute, and then I flipped it again, did it for a minute. Now, if I do it again, I'll sear
Now,
for a
when
minute.
you do the splash, you have the pan tilted,
And you have to use a
glove,
'cause it's all
obviously.
cast
Oh
iron.
my God, yes, do not touch that.
And the
handle.
only reason you do that is so you can easily scoop it with the spoon,
Yeah.
which is the famous Gordon Ramsay way to cook a steak. And if I did it again, 12-ounce ribeye for sure, I would do 1 minute sear, then flip it and start the bathing process. And then you let it sit for 5 minutes, and then you enjoy. And you get what Max said, you get that crust. It's super moist in the middle of it. It like the outside of it got redder, obviously, because it's away from the center. But it was still delicious. But I did come to that realization that I have to have Liam Perrins in my house at all times, and because I'll use it on like combination fried rice. I won't use soy sauce anymore.
Oh, that's an interesting twist.
I'll use Liam Perrins, and I'll use the Japanese barbecue sauce.
The Japanese barbecue sauce is just such money. It's so good.
So
Yeah.
nails. And so and the other realization I came up with is that the best way to cook a steak is in the cast iron.
So did you use a press to keep the steak down? Just let it sit there for a minute.
Because it was so hot, and it's not going to burn because that's what the oil's there for. So yeah, that's just the way to cook a steak.
Another dumb question, because this is the introvert side of me not wanting to mess it all up, right? Do you put the oil in first,
Yes.
and then, or do you heat the pan and then put the oil? Because I've seen some people say heat the pan then put your oil.
You
in.
can. I do the oil and then crank the pan heat up, and
Yeah.
then when you start to see that little smoke tornado,
Yeah.
you know the pan's hot enough, and then then again, it literally only takes you about 5 minutes to cook it total.
Yeah.
And if you have a big enough cast iron, and I didn't eat all that steak. I ate half of it. You and your wife could split that easily.
It's amazing when you buy a steak, like when you go out to a restaurant and you get like, say, a 16-ounce, strip, and you eat that whole thing. You cook that thing at home and you pre-slice it, that one steak or maybe two would feed a family of four and nobody would be hungry. But you go out to a restaurant and everybody has one of those by themselves.
Bobby, I could have ate that whole thing, but I would not have liked the way I felt. So I was perfectly full, and it's the new thing I'm doing where I'm intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
And it's just, you got to tell yourself you're done.
You
like
gotta-
you
yeah.
could, the other half of it all sliced up and red and everything. I was like, man, I could.
Now, see, like on some ciabatta bread with like some butter and
Sure.
garlic butter and like warm that up, and now you got yourself a steak sandwich with a little au jus on
or
the
you
side.
could, chop up a Caesar salad and then do your steak Caesar
Steak
same way.
Caesar, that
So-
horseradish sauce, like from Arby's, the horsey sauce. That's really good on a steak too. So,
But
you know
I
what else I
learned-
like? Have you ever gotten the wasabi sauce that's in? It's in by the soy sauce and stuff.
Yeah, it's like
but
green.
It's green.
Yeah.
that is phenomenal. On
Basically
everything.
horseradish, but yeah.
it's fantastic on everything.
But yeah, that's what I've discovered. So cast iron is the way to go. So cook your fiance or cook your wife a steak in the cast iron
we've done
and
it.
get back to me. 'Cause it's kind of the same thing as a Blackstone, basically.
Yeah, except you don't have to go outside and
Sure.
The Blackstone is fantastic. The worst part is the cleanup, because that's the last thing you want to do when you're done.
Yeah. By the way, we have a Richer of the Week nominee. This is what it sounds like with this text. Looks like I'll be, what's it say? Look, think I'll turn to the Food Network to get my sports. Sweet. Here's a sports story for you. Brock Lesnar's son, Turk Lesnar, dominated in his Ice Hockey League playoffs today. This is literally this man's twin. The video has been retweeted by myself. Brock Lesnar has a monster of a child who plays hockey. And that is just somebody. And if you watch the videos, it is as advertised, dude. Brock Lesnar's son is an absolute unit on the ice. I mean, just
Is
checking,
he good,
dude.
or is he just beating? Is he the goon?
I don't know. It's from Fadeaway Media on Twitter. His name is Turk Lesnar. He's
What
in this
perfect name, Turk Lesnar.
because his daughter, I think, is a fighter and looks just like him too. And then his son's
she's
a hockey
huge.
player, and he's just he's just a unit on the ice, dude. Not ground, ice. But we did get a new nickname in the Royals organization made by yours truly, the manager. Matt Cotrero has a nickname for, well, Carter Jensen.
Carter Jensen, he's my pick to win the AL Rookie of the Year, and I'm going to talk about it right now with Matt Cotrero. How good can this kid be? I am so impressed by him. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I hate to put a ceiling on somebody, right? Because when you see really let me back up to like what really impresses me about him is 2 years ago coming into camp, I didn't realize that he was only like 19 years old.
Crazy.
Handled himself exceptionally well in the clubhouse, on the field, sponge, and then go to that offseason. He lives in the Kansas City area, and I'm seeing him at events at the stadium. He's hitting in the cage. He's a rat, and it's one of those guys that like he's going to do everything in his power to be as good as he can be. And when you break out like he did last year, you got to think sky's the limit.
He's a rat. Love it.
I've never heard that term used before, like gym rat. He
just left the gym out of it because he's not in the gym. He's in the cages. He's on the field.
cage
He's in the
rat,
tunnels.
yeah.
He's everything. So text line 913-586-7965. Tell me your most famous rat.
Well, my famous rat is the rats that were in Muppets Take Manhattan that cooked in the diner and ice skated on butter on the hot flat top. Those are the rats that I like.
Because Royals Review, who does good work for the Kansas City Royals, they put all their like big rat names up there. They had one from Harry Potter. They had
Ron's rat.
Yeah, they had others. I said Templeton from Charlotte's Web.
Oh, that's a good
That's
one.
a good one, yeah.
Look here, Charlotte. The eggs are always free. You just come over here, Charlotte.
Yeah.
So Templeton would be my vote for most famous rat, or Mickey Mouse. I don't know if he's a rat.
No, he's a mouse. It's in the name. It's literally in his name.
Yeah, true. But you can
Little
also
Stuart. I don't know if he's a mouse or a rat.
Mouse.
Stuart Little?
Mouse.
That's a mouse.
Little Stuart. Hello, Stuart Little.
Stuart Little? Yeah, that's a mouse.
Because then you got
Ratatouille. Remy.
Yeah, he was another one they had mentioned.
Yeah, Remy comes in at number one.
What about Ratican from the
Rizzo is the rat that I was talking about from the Muppets. I couldn't remember his
Rizzo.
name. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes, I do know that one.
Yeah, so I mean, then you got Ratican, the guy from the Sherlock Holmes version, the Great Mouse Detective.
Every office has got a rat.
Mm-hmm. True. They do. Or a squid. Happy birthday, Miss Maloney. But Rob, you get that. But no, I think that's great that you have this guy on this team. Because what has Vern said this year? Both have to be good or one has to be great. You have Jack Caglione last year who had all the midseason drama because of what he was doing in the minor leagues. And then this year you have the preseason drama, maybe not drama, but hype for Carter Jensen. Because I know a lot of people, my friend group and a lot of people on the text line have said they have taken a waiver on Carter Jensen to be Rookie of the Year. Could you imagine a perfect season for the Kansas City Royals, right? Cags gives you 30. Bobby gets you the MVP. Reagan's is a Cy Young candidate, and you've got the Rookie of the Year candidate. You should be a playoff team.
Well, you have all of those that are legitimately available to happen. I mean, I don't know the last time that we actually sat here and said legitimately the Royals could sweep all the categories for the awards at the end of the season, right? MVP, Cy Young, and Rookie of the Year. I would imagine if that all happens, maybe somebody recognizes who Matt Cotrero is and decides to give him Manager of the Year, or just give that to Boone. But there's a real possibility that all three of those awards can be taken home by everybody here in Kansas City, and that would be outstanding if they were able to do all of that. But again, like with Carter Jensen, much like Cags, I just want to see the guy play. I'm not going to, as Q said, like, why do we want to set a ceiling for what this guy can be, or even like a floor for what this guy can be? Let's just go out there and not have expectations and just let these guys play. But we don't live in that kind of society. I get that. But the older I get, the more I just want to appreciate what these guys can do and not sit there in my seat or watching a game wondering if he's going to meet the expectations that I set for him. The expectation for me is to watch the team win. I know it doesn't work that way for Artie Moreno and the Angels, but for the rest of the world, I just want to see the team win, and I want to see those guys contribute to this team winning. And so I'm with Q 100%. Not setting any ceilings for these guys or whatever you want to talk about. Just go out there and play and have fun and make us proud to root for you guys. That's all we're asking.
Some rats that are coming in. Master Splinter takes the cake for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yep, that is a good one. Yes.
Another Templeton, the rat from Charlotte's Web. You've also got Chuck E. Cheese. Very scary rat.
Yeah. It's a very scary place.
Somebody says Tom and Jerry. Jerry's a mouse.
Jerry's a mouse. Yeah.
Jerry's mouse.
Yep.
Somebody says Rat the Band.
Oh, that's a good one, too.
Round and round.
Yeah. Round and round.
Oh, man.
Goes around, comes around, round and round.
Mr. Jangles from the Green Mile.
Was he a rat or a mouse?
He was a mouse.
He was a mouse, yeah.
A lot of mice.
Yeah, see, you got to know the difference between the rat and the mouse.
Come on,
a mouse
guys.
is like really cute, and a rat's like, like with the, And they got the whiskers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the noise I'm looking for. Yes. Mice are kind of just like there.
And someone's asking the question, how can Carter Jensen win Rookie of the Year and Jack Caglione can't? I think it's like they base
Cags has too many at-bats.
I think it's
Yeah.
ABs, or plate appearances, or ABs.
Yeah, plate appearances maybe, yeah, probably.
And Carter Jensen only had, I think, 60 at-bats last year, and Cags played way more than he can, so that's the reason that is for that sort of stuff. But yeah, you have a lot of people out there that are taking flyers on Rookie of the Year and Carter Jensen. But the thing that I've noticed about this Royals team is that they're developing likable personalities within the team. And one thing baseball struggles with is personalities, because there are probably, what you could say, 6 guys on this team that everybody in Kansas City is more so, gravitated to. Like, you can go back to the 14 and 15 team and you were a Moose person, a Kane guy, a Hosmer person. Maybe you were, Johnny Cueto guy. I don't know, probably not, but like maybe one of but there was like 3 or 4, right? Salvi, Kane, Haas, Moose. Esky.
Yeah.
Those are about the 5. This team, you're starting to develop more and more of those guys that are going to gravitate behind this team.
Well, maybe Wade Davis and,
Yeah, I think
Holland, maybe.
I don't know, there's a lot of people out there being like, man, Wade's my dude, right?
Yeah.
Like, we loved Wade in the moment, but I don't know if
that's
you're
fair.
right.
Yeah.
So with this team, you have Bobby, Vinny, Sal, still, Cags, Carter, Mikel's a lot of people's guy.
Yeah.
And that's 6 guys on your roster that people will, tend to kind of gravitate to or have their person. And then if you can put that sort of, formula together and win, that's what's going to turn this town blue again in October. And that's what's really going to show out. And now we just need the team to do it. Because last year they told us in spring training, we will be in the playoffs. We are a playoff team and fell short. This year, they're not really saying that, but obviously people getting there earlier, whether that's World Baseball Classic or whether that is, I want to get ahead of it because I have the World Baseball Classic coming up. You're seeing that eagerness from the Kansas City Royals. Bobby Witt Jr. is always going to be in the top 3, perennial MVP candidacy in the AL. And Vinny Pasquantino's the mouthpiece. Salvador Perez is the captain in the face. And then Carter and Cags are the kids, and Mikel's kind of the silent assassin. So I think there's a lot of hype around this team. I just need that hype to stay through the season and be consecutively good throughout the season, because the last thing we need to see is a fallout early on, because the buzz that the World Baseball Classic has potential to give, followed up with, like, how many people that are diehard hockey people are like, I'm ready to get this thing going. I'm ready to watch.
I just saw a tweet this morning, the NHL returns tonight, and everybody's celebrating, because of how good that was on Sunday for everybody. But I also think, too, with the World Baseball Classic, Dusty, I'm just going to be honest here. Once the World Baseball Classic's over, I don't ever want to hear that mentioned again, because the last couple of times we've had these World Baseball Classics, we've used those as an excuse for the entire regular season, right? And I'm not just talking Kansas City. I'm talking, baseball in general. That baseball people you think I've got my routine, right? Baseball people are worse off than I could ever be when it comes to routine and doing the same thing at every point of every day. And this kind of gets in the way of that. And baseball folks are not flexible at all. They do not know how to veer left when they're supposed to be going right. They just don't work that way. And so this World Baseball Classic right in the middle of spring training gets in the way of what they're normally doing. I just don't want to hear that as an excuse if somebody doesn't have a good season. It's not the World Baseball Classic that's going to mess them up. They're not going to have a good season because they just weren't destined to have a good season. To me, it has nothing to do with the WBC, and they use that as an excuse for a long time after that 23 one. And so I don't want to hear that again. This is a great opportunity for these players to get the feel of being in regular season and postseason baseball when they normally aren't. And you've got to use that to your advantage with the competition that's going to be out there in the WBC. You're not getting competition in spring training. I've been there. I've seen the spring training games. As much as I love them, it's not competition. Everybody's going to have their adrenaline going for this World Baseball Classic. And it's something that you truly can take advantage of and kind of get the regular season feel early on or postseason feel early on, Dusty. And to your point, not have a terrible April where you come out of the gate slow because you're not ready.
Couple names I might have forgotten on those teams. Alex Gordon, obviously one, and Gerard Dyson was another person that was somebody's guy. Maybe not on the popular level as, those other guys, but Dyson was definitely the guy you wanted to see do the backflip in center field after they won a game, or do the That's What Speed Do dance, stealing the base. Something I'm not going to do is what the Milwaukee Brewers decided to do, which was throw a 104-mile-an-hour fastball.
It was edited.
Yeah, but again, that is something that can get the minds thinking that somebody could possibly do this.
Yes, that's the scary point. Kids are going to go out there and try this.
they animated a guy throwing a 104-mile-an-hour fastball.
Mizorowski.
Yeah, off of a head of a human being.
Hitting an apple.
No chance. But if you had to pick a guy.
If you haven't seen this yet, it is incredible. It's some guy sitting in a chair. Mizorowski's on the mound, throws the ball, and it hits the apple off the top of his head. It's like amazing, right? And then they talk about how they did it. Their PR team or their media team went out there and created this video to make it look real, right? And it's just it's exceptional.
It does look really real.
It looks real.
Oh, yeah.
They did a great job. Now, somebody did break down the frame by frame. It was like, you can see the apple exploding before the ball hits the apple.
Makes sense.
You know, but it was fun. It gets you thinking, if you had your life on the line and the only way to save your life was to pick somebody who would knock that apple off your head without touching you, who are you choosing for that? Because for me, it was Nolan Ryan.
He was a wild man, though.
I think he's got pinpoint control. And your choice is obviously really good. But no, I trust Nolan. I do.
Not in that situation. I trust Nolan to give me 9, but he was a wild man. That's why that's why he went from the Mets to the the Rangers immediately, or Houston.
I think it was Angels first. I think it was Mets, Angels, then Houston, then.
And he couldn't hit the strike zone, so that gave me fear. My
Early,
choice,
though.
Yeah, my choice would be Greg Maddux.
Perfect. That's a great call. I mean, that is a brilliant answer.
Just because you talk about pinpoint accuracy, couldn't throw over 90. But man,
you don't need that.
He could start it out left and just nip the black, and people would just tip their cap.
Yep.
Like whenever I see a video go up through my algorithm on Instagram or Twitter, it's a Greg Maddux video I will watch because I'm just mesmerized at how great the Mad Dog was at just able to outsmart everyone. And he looked like a professor.
He
on the
did.
mound.
Yep. That's the thing.
And if I'm like, hey, dude, apple's right here. Can't touch this. I need this. He's going to hit that apple.
You're probably right about that. Yeah, he is a good choice.
Yeah, I would just put the Livy Dunn's like face over mine, and then Paul Skeen's.
There
That
you
way
go.
she's
That way
he's not
Because
gonna,
she finally did step in the batter's box against him.
Oh, really? I missed that.
She's like, my biggest fear has been done, and she's in the batter's box, and he throws probably like 80.
Yeah, he's not
Still.
ripping it. Yeah,
And she doesn't even flinch. She never saw it.
Yeah, he's lobbing it up there, and she's like, whoa.
And she just stands there. She's got the little like pencil bat they use every once in a while. And she's like, all right, because it goes back to a story my dad had when he went to Missouri State. He was just friends with the #1 tennis player. And he was like, all right, you ready? He's like, yep. And the guy served it. My dad's like, waiting on you. He's like, it's behind you.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, all right, had a good time. See you
Yeah,
later.
thank you. Take care.
Yeah.
And that's not even like professional level. That's college.
No,
It shows you how good athletes
And
are.
he was probably serving at like 90. And my dad just stood there on the back line, just, a little nerd Kurt, like, all right, whenever you're ready. Ready when you are. Like, it's behind you, Kurt. Pick it up and serve it back over.
There you go. Thanks.
But yeah, that'd be a hard no for me with anything like that.
I
Like
mean-
the hand on the dartboard. You see people
Yeah,
do that. And then
yeah.
And they show you the next morning photo, and it's all like, swollen and infected
Oh,
because those
yeah.
darts are disgusting. But yeah, I've never been one of those. Like you see him in golf all the time. The guy will stand like 30 yards away.
Yeah.
And be like, hit your driver over my head right into the chest.
Yeah, I'm good.
Because I saw a last place fantasy football bet. Guy finished last, had to get on his knees, put a bucket over his head, and the guy was 10 yards in front with a driver, hit him right in the chest.
Oh, God.
I'd rather just not play fantasy football.
exactly.
dude.
That's just stupid at that point in time.
Gosh, man. There's just no way I'm putting an apple in my head and letting somebody do that for me. So,
I mean, you seriously got to be some sort of a masochist to sit there like that.
You have a lot of confidence in your friend throwing that. Coming up next, Eric Bieniemy is the offensive coordinator. What that means for other players on the team as well. Here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty, brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, spring break time is here, and you need to make those reservations at Park and Go, so when you are out of town, your car is always protected from the elements, whether it's rain or maybe a late snow in the spring or something like that. You want to make sure your car is safe and sound and is as happy as you are while you're on vacation. So make that reservation at Park and Go on their app or at bookparkandgo.com. It's very easy. Just make your reservation, and you have a covered parking spot reserved for the day of your flight. Make sure you prepay. You'll save money as well. well. And then show up on the day of your flight, give them that reservation, and they'll direct you right to the spot they have reserved exclusively for you. You'll pull in and the van meets you right away and takes you to the airport terminal in no time at all. And when you get back, Park and Go's waiting. Grab your bags, walk outside, jump on that bus, and it's right back to the trunk of your car. So do what we did and join their frequent Parker program and earn points towards free parking. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. The best deals in parking. Bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family owned and operated.
In Kansas, truth is told in speed. Wide open, full bore, and no mercy. Season momentum earned 3 and 4 wide. Loud, intense, inches predicting outcomes. Blink and miss.
They bang sideways.
What just happened? Pure speed whipping across the plains.
Hell yeah, boys!
NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, April 18th and 19th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
Missouri, get ready. Circus Sports is giving you the chance to win owner Derek Stevens' wallet. From February 3rd to March 15th, you can take home your share of $250,000 in cash. Simply wager $100 and earn 1 share, wager $1,000 to earn 2 shares, wager $5,000 for a 3rd share. Bet on anything from pro sports to college, straight bets to futures. Don't miss your chance to cash in and take home your share of Derek's wallet. Visit circusports.com for details. Must be 21 and older and in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-894-7722. That's 800-894-7722. Again, 800-894-7722.
Hi, I'm Michael from the Warren Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
I love spending time outside at our house, but I noticed some paint was starting to peel. So I called CertaPro Painters to give us a fresh touch-up. We use CertaPro Painters inside and out at our place, and you should do the same. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in Kansas City. So schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, CertaPro.com. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Southside 435 westbound gets heavy around 103rd, stays very slow crossing the state line out to Metcalf with an accident that is off to the shoulder. 435 eastbound also off again on again heavy from Quivira out to Metcalf. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Happy anniversary to Steven Spector, or a lot of you call him Steven Inspector. Yep. He's now 13 years in this building. From your producer to your boss.
That's exactly right. It happens fast, right?
That's right.
I just went into his office and I said, did you think you would be here 13 years later?
And his response?
Sammy the Bull Gravano was the biggest rat. I'm like, that's the name I was thinking of.
That's
like,
what he said?
Yeah. There was a mob guy back in the day, Sammy the Bull Gravano, ratted on everybody, right? You don't rat on people. If you rat, you get kicked out of town. That's just the way it works.
Matt Damon from The Departed.
Oh, that's really
that's
good.
a great
too.
one.
Yeah, that is really good. I like that. Well done. But yeah, Sammy the Bull Gravano was one of the biggest rats and ratted out everybody in New York and eventually got, his comeuppance, as they say. Like sometimes if you lie in certain cities, they send you to other ones. They kick you out of towns and you get sent away because you're a rat. So I will suggest to people out there, and I've told my daughter this, both of them, you do not be a rat. You shut your mouth and you do not say a word about anything because it will always come back and bite you. And so after he talked about Sammy the Bull Gravano, I said to him, you didn't answer the question. And I said, did you think you'd be here 13 years later? He goes, no, not a chance. He goes, and I don't even think this is my actual anniversary because Spector's anniversary was the exact day that Melvin Weatherwax went after Bill Self at Iowa State. And so whatever day that was is Bill Self's anniversary, is Steven Spector's true anniversary. So whatever that Melvin Weatherwax game was, that was the day that Spector started. And it snowed. I'll never forget, his first day was in this blizzard and this guy was coming out of the crowd trying to go after Bill Self at Iowa State. You talk about trauma back then, too. So this Darren Peterson, this is nothing for Bill,
To chip off the old block.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out Steven Spector, 13 years.
Woo.
Taylor Swift's favorite number.
That's right.
Respect.
To 13 more. Yeah. To my brother George, the richest man in town. Mac, you got the bell ready?
Oh yeah, give me a second.
No, you're good. I got time to read. It takes me a while. It's not his fault he can't read. This comes from BK Lando on Twitter. Just a tweet. Says, if KC's hire of Eric Bieniemy is half as good as they think it is, they should absolutely keep Juwan Taylor and make Mr. Accountability fix him. Agree or disagree? Because I disagree.
See, I love that tweet.
Okay. I don't think it's... maybe it's a wild take. It's probably a wild take. I'd rather have Tyreek back than Juwan Taylor.
No, it's not wild.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. I've been a Juwan Taylor defender like you, Bob, for a long time, and he is a good blocker.
I hate Tyreek Hill. I have no interest in having him back.
No, that's fair. No, and I have zero interest in having either of these guys back.
You know what I hate? A first down play, goes for 25 yards. False start, 74. Next play, interception.
Yeah, you can't lead the league in penalties twice in a row. I mean, I was talking to my friends about this. He's like, your money per penalty should be super high. Juwan Taylor's paid a lot, or paid very little per penalty because he's had so many, and he gets paid a lot of money, and I think that's part of the reason you should probably part ways with him. You can save $20 million on the cap. He's one of the higher paid right tackles in the league, and frankly, with how highly penalized he is and how much of a negative he's been on this offense, not just from a actual productive standpoint and where they are in the field, but you've seen attitudes. We've seen Travis Kelce. We've seen the emotion that he's evicted from these guys. Yeah, I'm kind of ready to be done. It's time. You can save a lot of money.
And I understand that, but I was looking at some of the numbers yesterday, and when he doesn't get called for a penalty, he is still one of the most effective players out there, right?
He is.
And so we were told Eric Bieniemy was coming back because he was going to hold guys accountable, right? And that was going to be the thing, hold guys accountable, get in guys' faces when they commit penalties, all that kind of stuff. So now, I'm not saying you bring Juwan back at this price, but if you want to, cut him and renegotiate a contract or however, because they did talk about it yesterday. I mean, Brett Veach did say there's some workability with Juwan Taylor to get to a number where they could get under that cap. So you went out specifically to get a guy who's going to hold players accountable. The one guy that needs to be held accountable to most is actually one of your better football players, gives you a better opportunity for success than Jalen Moore does on the right side of your line, but can't stay penalty-free. But isn't that why we're bringing in Mr. Accountability, to make sure that these guys do stay penalty-free? So if you have one of your best players that's only being held back because he wasn't held accountable because of penalties, you're bringing in Mr. Accountability. wouldn't you say maybe we could find a way to keep Juwan Taylor because he still is a better football player than maybe any right tackle that we have on the roster, maybe any other right tackle in the division, maybe in the AFC? I don't know. I don't rate the right tackles, but I do know he's damn good. And if the only thing that he needs to work on is staying on sides, hey, Eric Bieniemy, project number 1, you work with that guy.
It's also just being good at football. Like, I think we talk about accountability and stuff, and all that's great. And yeah, Bieniemy's going to bring that. But part of why Taylor is false starting is because he knows he's not quick enough to get back.
Well,
yes, he is good once he gets
though anymore with these defensive lines, though, dude.
Well,
like, you know,
that kind of money.
Then time the snap better because yes, we've talked about it ad nauseum. Yes, Chris Collinsworth put him on a magnifying glass, and he's the reason a lot of this has transpired over the last 3 seasons. I really don't give a rip anymore. We're here now, and the reasons for why we're here, it's irrelevant. He's been unable to fix it. Other right tackles are able to time that perfectly with that back step, and he has been unable to do so. And at this point, honestly, I think he's in his head, and I think it has affected his play. I don't know if he'll be a starting right tackle somewhere else at this point. But we'll see. I mean,
gotcha.
Yeah, I'm all sorry. Damn it. Gotcha. But you're right. Right price, Bob. I mean, I could be convinced, but that seems like cut him, bring him back.
Seems to me the jumping is a lot like the Chuck Knobloch throw to second base.
It could be. I mean, and that's a fair point by Mac. It may be in his head at this point in time. But I don't know if I'm ready to say I'm done with a guy who still is a good football player. And so that's all I'm saying right now. Like, if they're having second thoughts about cutting Juwan Taylor from a salary standpoint, I would not. But if you're looking at your roster and you really believe that he is the best player out there that you have right now, and cutting him creates a bigger void than keeping him on this team, then maybe you do decide to keep him on this team, and maybe you do open a competition at right tackle. You know, maybe you say it's Jalen Moore versus, Juwan Taylor. But at the end of the season, I was told they're confident in Jalen Moore being the right tackle. So however they want to do it is truly up to them. But that tweet by whoever it was that you read there, Dusty, that jumped out on me yesterday. I'm like, I kind of like this idea. You made it a big point to let us know we've got to reel in the penalties. We're bringing in this disciplinarian guy who's going to get in everybody's faces. And the Chiefs didn't lose last year games because they weren't a good football team. They lost games last year because they were lazy, lackadaisical, and a penalty-ridden football team.
Okay. Good job. Way to stay on sides. I just think that there's a lot from last year that doesn't need to be carried over to this year. And I think he is part of that.
Yeah, I don't disagree, and that's fine. Yeah.
And again, you guys were way more supportive than I was, and that's fine. Because if it works out, great. But if it doesn't, then Team Dusty. But that's not what this is about. It's just more so like those little things, I think, were part of the things that added up to too much, right? Like that's because somebody said, hey, well, Mahomes, lines up under center more, then maybe it's a different. But he's not.
But also, too, like back to this whole draft a running back thing, maybe Juwan Taylor was a victim of Andy Reid being a terrible play caller last year. And everybody knowing 70% of the time or whatever it was with the
light boxes.
Yeah, everybody knew what was happening on offense last year.
Predictable. Yeah.
I mean, Juwan Taylor, the rest of the offensive line, maybe the rest of the offensive line just wasn't that good last year because Andy Reid wasn't good last year. And Andy Reid not being good last year, like he's the leader. He's the guy that we always praise. He's the guy we hold up. He's the reason why we're saying, yeah, they can turn this around and go from 6-11 to 11-6 and back into the playoffs. Maybe he was the reason why last year everything didn't work the way it should have because of those situations that he was putting his players in. Your job as a head coach, as a leader, as a boss is to put your people in position to be successful. Can you honestly say that Andy Reid did that last year?
No, for sure not. Didn't put his –
right.
Of course not.
Yeah. So how much of the play of that offensive line was because – the other teams were just guessing, and they were willing to be wrong 30% of the time on some run to Kareem Hunt. But they're going to pin their ears back, and they're rushing, and they're flying at you because they know 7 out of 10 times you're throwing the football. They didn't even consider a running game last year for the Chiefs when they were D'ing up against them. So that being said, do you know how hard that is for 5 guys on an offensive line to do their job when everybody knows what they're doing? It's like they all had the cheat code this year for the Chiefs.
But to the counterpoint, like if he knows what they're going to be doing, it should be arithmetic. Like you should be able to know like where you stand on the line, what the snap count is, what the play is. Like to me, it's just bum status.
Yeah, no, I totally disagree. I look at the other side of the line, and I know how good defensive linemen are now in the NFL and how fast they are. And if they know that they can get a jump start and they know that you're going to be throwing the football, now Juwan knows they know that we're passing. He knows that he's got to get out early because they know what they're not respecting the run. They basically teams go in against the Chiefs last year and they go, we're not worried about the run. If they beat us with the run, fine. They can beat us with the run. They're not beating us with the pass. And so we're going to assume every play is a pass play, and we're pinning our ears back and we're going. And after a while, man, as an offensive lineman, that wears you down. Running plays make offensive linemen stronger, take the pressure off your offensive linemen. And maybe now, as we kind of talk through this, maybe the reason why everybody was terrible last year on offense was strictly because of Andy Reid not giving them the best opportunity to have success.
Yeah, I don't know. I just highly disagree. I think the money you make to make that many mistakes is just unacceptable. And I think you play a position that's not really that hard to coach in the NFL. There are much more important positions on the field that are harder to coach in that aspect. Whereas, like, I don't know. I just think it's time to move on. I just don't think he's a good right tackle. I don't know what that answer is. That's why you trust in Brett Veach and those guys to do it, what they can do. There's a lot of drama in Kansas, and it doesn't involve Darren Peterson here on 96.5 The Fan. You're home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Bob Fescoe.
Out of anybody should talk, he should never grab a microphone.
And Dusty Likens.
His ass is foul of all foul.
Weekdays, 6 to 10. Fescoe and Dusty is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends at Smokehouse Barbecue are cooking up some great new entrees that they have on their menus, and you can get those at all three locations, Independence, Gladstone, and Zona Rosa. And the first, listen to this, a pickle jack sandwich, smoked ham with pepper jack cheese topped with pickle fries. You're not going to find that anywhere else. The pickle fries are fantastic. You can get them as a side dish, dip them in that homemade ranch dressing. You can enjoy the Cajun butter chicken wings dipped in that homemade ranch dressing, or you can enjoy it on that pickle jack sandwich. And the Smokehouse chili is back as well, and they do it with chopped burnt ends and sausage. This chili at Smokehouse Barbecue, let me tell you stuff. It is the best chili I've ever had. It is phenomenal, and you will be so thrilled if you get the chili at Smokehouse Barbecue. So visit one of their three locations in Independence, Gladstone, and Zona Rosa. Try that pickle jack sandwich or the chili, or you can place all of your catering and to-go orders as well through SmokehouseBBQ.com. That's SmokehouseBBQ.com. For over 35 years, locally owned and family operated, it's Smokehouse Barbecue.
DQ presents the Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ soft serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into soft serve, plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy, tastes good. Participation may vary.
Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Sex, intimacy, love. These three things are critical to a good relationship, and that's the problem with erectile dysfunction. It often destroys sexual enjoyment and intimacy. It stresses the love between partners, often to the breaking point. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're suffering with ED, you likely know exactly what I'm talking about. But I also want you to know that ED doesn't have to impact your relationship anymore. At Heartland Men's Health, we're ED experts, with our focus on men's sexual health. We've treated tens of thousands of men and have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. I promise you, if you're like most guys, you can get your sex life back, perhaps even performing like you haven't in years. So if ED is affecting you, it's time to get back to better sex, better intimacy, and deeper love. Call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from
we can be twinsies
to
how was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
It's impossible to have a bad day when you started with Chick-fil-A.
Hi, I'm Miles.
And this is Grant.
And the little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is
how the fluffy, crispy goodness wakes us up in the morning. The chicken is crispy, the biscuit is soft, it's iconic.
Throw some jelly on it, you could throw some honey on it. It helps me kick off the day.
The hash browns are great. And I really like the shape of them too. Little circles of crispy goodness. Yeah, those early morning chicken biscuits are just great, man.
Mornings are a little bit brighter with the Chick-fil-A Chicken Biscuit and Simply Orange Juice. Available on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Missouri side 470 southbound off again, on again heavy past 40 highway, stays that way down past Lakewood. Still pretty slow on the south side 435 westbound from the state line over towards Metcalf with an earlier accident. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Hey Royals fans, it's Vern and the Hot Stove Show is back Thursday night starting at 6 o'clock right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
"77 years old is Ric Flair today.
Happy birthday, Rick.
Woo! And his daughter is apparently dating Puka Nacua.
That's exactly right.
So they say. They're also saying that maybe there's a possibility that Darren Peterson, no longer the first overall pick in the NBA draft, is now AJ DeBanza is minus 150, Darren Peterson plus 120. It's weird that we almost have more clarity on who 3 through 5 is more than we have 1 through 2. Bill Simmons, great podcast, never talks college basketball. So, college basketball is having some movement or a slight little renaissance this year with all the freshman talent. He doubles down on why AJ DeBanza should be the first overall pick.
I think AJ has to be the first pick. I think it would be insane not to take him first. This is a sure thing. And the upside that you could potentially have with Peterson, this chance that he might be this best guard of the last 20 years type of potential versus what we know we're going to get with AJ. I can't believe some of the stuff he's doing. So space out for him, which they don't really do in college, where he's basically doing like a foul line post up. And the cool thing is he doesn't just have one move off this post up. He can do the turnaround to the left. He can do a turnaround follow it to the other side, or he can do a spin, go to the basket. He can spin to the basket on either side. So he basically has 4 options from this one spot on the court. He's 19 years old. Nobody should be able to do this. Not to mention he's the best athlete in every game he's in. He rebounds. He plays defense. He wants to be out there competing. I sound like I'm getting paid off by the BYU Utah crew. I'm not. Yeah. I just think I don't know how you pass on him. I can't believe he's an underdog to go number 1. I think this is crazy. He has to be the number 1 pick.
The way I look at this is everything he just described, you could do that with Darren Peterson. And he wasn't the best athlete on every game they played because Darren Peterson was better than he was when they played BYU.
That's one thing I disagree with, yeah.
And the other thing, too, last night, DeBanza, 29, 8, and 0 assists.
He's been on a heater. Yeah, where's the assist?
The assist, dude. Hey, Darren Peterson, 0 assists. We get, reprimanded for that, right?
She passed the ball.
She passed the ball. DeBanza, 0 assists last night. Okay? Big issue. Don't know if I can take that guy number 1 overall. My question to you guys, is there a wrong pick taking DeBanza or Peterson with the number 1 overall pick in the NBA draft? Because I think
today, no.
Everything that he described is what you can see Darren Peterson do. And I could go back with Bill Simmons and say, well, here's these 4 moments as well that I've seen Darren Peterson have, where tying game 3 against Texas Tech on the road, followed up by a game-winning 3 on the road. 18 in the first half and saying, Bill, I think you got this. I'm not 100%. Go ahead. Now, if you'd have started talking about attitudes and dedication and stuff like that, I might have listened because I don't know the truth, all of it behind why Darren Peterson's missing time. But from a talent's perspective, from what I've seen, I don't think there is a wrong answer to say I'm taking DeBanza or Peterson. I've just watched Peterson more. One is because his games aren't at 10 o'clock like they were last night for DeBanza, or 9:30 on a Saturday, even though I did watch that game. But I don't know if there's legitimately a wrong pick between the two. And maybe this is something that we will see in the future of the NFL is like whoever picks 1 and 2 and whoever took who over the other, we will then, again in sports, rewind the clocks and go back and go to, well, let's see both these guys' careers play out and then judge the team through hindsight and see who took the right guy.
Well, I think when you're looking at this, let me ask this question before I get into what I think. Does Bill Simmons have good sources in the NBA?
I would think so.
Yeah,
very much
like
so.
You would think so, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty good friends with Brad Stevens.
Yeah, I would say he's probably got decent sources.
You got good sources in the NBA. So guys like that don't necessarily give their opinion. They give their opinion based on what they hear from their sources. And so I'm listening to Bill Simmons, who I don't listen to his podcast. It's not my thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm not a podcast guy. And I'm listening to Bill Simmons, and I respect what he's been able to do. And the reason I ask you is because I assume that Bill Simmons has got a lot of sources in the NBA with much as he's been around and the connections that he has. And so I hear what certain guys have to say that are like these insiders and prominent people like a Bill Simmons like that, and I go, it's not Bill Simmons' opinion. That's Bill Simmons' opinion based on what he's hearing from his sources in the NBA.
Gotcha.
So that's why I'm looking at this and I'm saying, yeah, it's not Bill Simmons' quote-unquote opinion. It's Bill Simmons' opinion based on what he's getting from his sources around this league. That's how it works, in this industry. You're around long enough, you talk to enough people that give you a little bit of information, and then you can use that to factually, form your opinions. And Bill Simmons, to me, has always struck me as a guy that's well tied in, well-versed with sources, has a lot of good connections. And so I guarantee you Bill Simmons' people that he trusts in the NBA are starting to come over to him and say, look, guys, I don't know if he is going to be the number one pick. And Bill's using that as information to put out there to say, hey, it may not be the right guy to be that number one pick because that's what he's hearing from the sources that he has in the NBA. And they could be using him as smokescreen, too, for all we know.
No, but that makes sense. Yeah, they could be. Yeah, but that makes sense. Yeah, he's got so much sources. Yeah, he's not just saying this. He's probably heard this, and he also probably does think this. I mean, it makes sense, right? With all the DP drama, the DNP drama, rather. Then you got AJ DeBanza the last 6 games averaging over 30. Like, he's been awesome. Like, I'll give it to him, and I've been a hater. I see it. Like, I see it.
I think his over-under last night was 30 points.
It's unbelievable. No, I gotta give him credit. He's great. I was focusing too much on the downhill stuff, which I still don't think he's got a dribble worth anything. But Bill's right. Back to the basket. He's got a good 3-point shot. He's 6'9". He can jump.
Wait, you said what? What did you just say there?
He's got a good 3-point shot.
Do you know what the average number of 3-point shots taken in an NBA game is this year?
36. Oh, for one team or total?
Combined.
Oh, I would say it's probably 65.
50?
74. Woo! NBA games are seeing an average of 74 3-point shots per game. It's way too much. I advocated years ago getting rid of the 3-point line. I think it's the worst thing that's happened to sports. And then you listen to Paul Pierce. He wants an LED 3-point line that only goes on at certain times. I kind of like that, like late in the game to get a team back into a game. Now you light up the 3-point line. I don't hate it.
I think another rule you could also have is have the shot clock on the floor. Like they have, like for us, for like graphics, but they actually see it. And if you hit the shot from that spot, you get whatever total time is for points.
Where would you put the shot clock?
Above the 3-point line.
You could move it too.
Put it like at the 3-quarter line between the half court and 3, and be like 8, 7, 6. You shoot at the 6 and make it 6 points.
But I see. You should on the clock,
but it'd be on the floor.
But it'd be on the floor like it is for us.
So you know how they have those?
Oh, on the spot.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of cool. I'm up for it. Yeah,
you could move the spot too, depending on the time.
In the fourth quarter, it's back in the corner by the half court.
And so you want to move the ball off the court as quickly as you possibly can to get to that spot.
You might get an 18-point shot.
I love it. That's fun. Like late in the game, something like
how
that.
many points? Steph Curry, 125.
Yeah. But I mean,
he went 6 for 6 from 3. Had 121 points.
Yeah, hit that 18 shot 5 times. But
yes, exactly.
I think the Elam ending is something that's been discussed in basket, and I'm definitely for college basketball. I'm 1,000% in on the Elam ending. I think that needs to happen. That will make games so much better,
quicker
at the end, quicker, and there's drama at the end with all of that. But so back to Bill Simmons for a second, and listening to him with his points is that I took that as Bill Simmons is just gathering all the information from the people that he knows in the league that aren't going to lead him astray. and he's listing all of these things that they're saying, and he's hypothesizing that maybe the tide is turning on Darren Peterson, because I'm hearing from a lot of these guys, and then presents it as his opinion. That way he looks smart. But this is how opinions normally get formed, by talking to the people around. And Bill Simmons, I do believe, is one of the guys that you can say is very sourced by the NBA. So we'll see. But the three-point shot, very important. You mentioned he hits three-point shots.
Yeah, he's got a good three-point shot.
That's all this league is now. That's all they want, is guys that are going to put up three-point shots. And if you got a big guy that can put up three-point shots, he's got two things now. Darren Peterson, is not the big guy. He doesn't have the size.
Yeah, he can't guard multiple positions like A.J. Dubbanza. No, there's things that lean his way. Yeah. The ceiling's much higher for Peterson, but that floor may be what someone wants. And it's like, I know what A.J. Dubbanza is. So that's fair. Yeah, we'll see what happens as it gets closer. But again, I still hold true to the fact that that's fine. He could be minus 300. 2 weeks in March will change all of that.
Of course it will. But if he gets knocked out in the first round, then
show up. Yep.
Because if you look at the stats, Big Monday, KU is unstoppable. Saturdays, they're not good.
Not good.
You're probably playing on a Saturday.
That's true.
Moving forward. So figure out how to play on a Saturday.
Coming up on the other side, Veach spoke, and so did the city of Lawrence, about some certain individual rigging the student section at Lawrence, Kansas. Here at 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Fescoe and Dusty is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
At Casey's, when someone asked for a cup of coffee that wouldn't put them in debt, but still had freshly ground beans, rich flavor, and a price that starts with a 9 and ends with a D9 cents, we were too nice to say no. Now get a small coffee, just 99 cents. Limited time only. See store for details.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most, that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense, and that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in no time with same-day Wi-Fi. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025. Actual speeds vary. Xfinity Internet powered by fiber and connected to the premises by coaxial cable.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like payroll manager.
Hi, my last paycheck was all in Icelandic krona.
You are welcome.
Welcome?
Given the exchange rate between the dollar and the krona, you're technically a millionaire now. Don't spend it all in one place.
I can't really spend it anywhere.
There's always Iceland.
This is your job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Time is valuable. That's why Lowe's Blueprint Takeoffs turn blueprints into quotes faster. Bring us your plans, and we'll generate itemized material lists to make quoting easier so you can get back to building. Plus, at the Lowe's Pro Desk, you get access to thousands of building materials not sold in store. And when your order's ready, we'll deliver everything to the job site. Improving is easy at Lowe's.
We get it. Attention spans just aren't what they used to be. Heads in social media and eyes on Netflix. But what do people do with their ears? Well, for one, they're listening to audio. Americans spend 4.4 hours with audio every day. Oh, and you want the proof? Well, you just sat through this ad that's now approaching 30 seconds. What could you say to a potential customer in 30 seconds? Let Odyssey put together a media plan tailor-made for your unique marketing needs. Advertise with Odyssey. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens, and from changing seasons to unpredictable road conditions, having solid auto insurance gives you real peace of mind. With AAA, switching today means you could save up to 21% on your auto insurance. AAA offers dependable protection, personalized coverage options, and customer service that's always there for you. And when you bundle policies or insure multiple vehicles, you can save even more. Visit AAA.com. That's AAA.com. Some
flavors just take you to another place. Like the Filet-O-Fish, a crispy fish fillet made with wild-caught Alaskan pollock on melty American cheese topped with tartar sauce, all on a soft, steamed bun. It's crispy, flaky perfection. And right now, I can mix and match 2 favorites, like a Filet-O-Fish or 10-piece Chicken McNuggets for just $6. This deal is the catch of the day. So get to McDonald's fast. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Today, expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 58.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Staples has hot deals and low prices on everything for your business, like up to $125 off your print order. Ends 4/18. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
All right, so in the break, I'm scrolling through Twitter, and I find this post, and I want to get your guys' perspective on this. It says, my dad still sends money to my mom randomly, even though they broke up 28 years ago.
Why?
He gave her $300 last Mother's Day, and so one day I asked him, quote, why do you still do that after all of these years? Because he has rebuilt his life long ago with someone new. I was just really curious about his motive, quite honestly. This man answered, my father always told me, if you ever have a kid with a woman, you owe her for life. Agree or disagree?
Boy, I've never heard that before.
Yeah, good for you and your dad teaching that lesson. Yeah, I'm not
20
gonna abide
years
by
separated.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's admirable.
I'm not answering the phone if I ever got to, not that I do now, but
jeez.
I mean, talking on the phone is that's an interesting one. I totally respect that guy.
Yeah, I admire it. Respect it.
I admire and respect that guy. Like, that is setting a good example for your kids, I think, when you do something like that. You don't have to do something like that. But at the end of the day, if you're divorced, we know how it works most of the time. The kids end up more time with the mom. That's just kind of the way it goes, unless the mom's lunatic and then dad gets custody, right? But if you're spending your time at your mom's place and she's struggling to make ends meet, well, that in turn is going to make it a little bit more difficult for her to provide for you as well. And even though we got divorced, that's still my child. And I still want to make sure that my child has what they need, he or she needs, when they go to mom's house. And mom may be in between jobs, or maybe mom is unemployed at this point in time. Maybe mom just needs a boost. And so at the end of the day, essentially what he's doing is taking care of his kid by taking care of the mother. So when the kid comes over, she can have a meal or whatever it is. We don't know the semantics of everything that took place. But the more I think about it, I'm like, that's an honorable dude. I wouldn't have done that. I never would have thought to have done that. And I know most of my friends that have been divorced, they've got the date circled of when that last check has to be written. But that's just an admirable thing, man. That's kind of cool, actually. You don't see many good things like that. You always say, Dusty, do something nice, right? Like, that's one of those things that you don't tell people you're doing. You're just helping out that lady, and at the end of the day, you did the right thing.
So my question would be like, why wouldn't you just give the kid money?
Well, because you're trusting a kid. Like,
it's been 28 years at this point, so like the kid's grown
now.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. But still does it?
Yeah, but
like,
still does it because
the mother. Like, hey, I have a check.
Maybe there's a grandchild involved, or maybe he's just a good dude that maybe sometimes you get divorced and it's not because you hate that person. You're just not compatible anymore. There's a lot of people that you see that get divorced and say, we're better friends than we ever were as a married couple. And, maybe that feeling kicks in. I don't know. I'd love to know more about, why he did that. But I think it's kind of a cool, chivalrous, easy enough for me to say, thing, that he did that kind of taking care of for me. Yeah, maybe there's a grandchild involved too.
Yeah, this says once the kid's 18, that stops.
Yeah.
Which, my parents, like, they divorced, and it was funny because, like, my parents did not end on a good note. And, we'd get the money order from dad. We'd drop, so take that in your mom.
Yeah.
All right. You don't want to do it? No. Have a good night. I'll see you in 2 days.
Right.
Because we were different. We did like Monday was mom, Tuesday was dad, Wednesday was whoever you were at the weekend, Thursday was mom, and then the weekend started Friday and you alternated. So it was very confusing. I actually got out of missed homework assignments for that, even though they might not have always been the truth. But I was like, can I explain to you my situation at home? They're like, yeah, sit down. Is everything okay? Like yeah. Just I'm here. Okay. Bring it tomorrow. I'm like, all right. And I look at my backpack, I'm like, there it is.
Right there. Yep. I'll get it.
Got her
done.
again.
Yeah.
But either way, there is some drama in Kansas because you've got somebody kind of skewing the system for student seating, and they sent out a press release from camping leadership.
And called out a person in a press release,
But not themselves.
No, you don't call out yourself.
Of course
in something
not.
Like this. No, but you call out Kylie, was it, or Riley, whoever it was over there? Riley over there at KU, who was screwing up with the camping. And so, for those that don't know, I think most people know, people camp out for the KU basketball games. The students for the best seats available. We used to do it as well. A lot different back in our day. There was a sheet of paper on the wall with everybody's name, and that was it. And you just kind of followed the order. Now they've got it more, I guess, high tech. And they sent out this message. We're aware of a message sent by one of our camping leaders describing the falsification of a numbered chip some groups pulled this morning at a lottery. With this being the final home game of her senior year, a selfish action was taken that goes against what ourselves as a group and the entire student body believes in. These two groups have now been moved to the bottom of the order, and Riley will no longer be associated with camping leadership. The integrity of Kansas basketball is essential to us, and we're taking action to keep lotteries fair and honest. Nothing is bigger than KU basketball, and we will hold our members to the same standard. Camping leadership. Yeah, you're right. They sent out a press release on this.
Nothing
in Lawrence,
is bigger
Kansas,
than Kansas basketball.
Right, that's exactly right. Nothing.
Not a thing.
Not in Lawrence. Nothing.
Oh, it's
nothing.
specifically in Lawrence.
No. But nothing is bigger than KU. So I'm assuming they're talking the world, right? They didn't say in Lawrence nothing is bigger than KU basketball. They just said nothing is bigger than KU
They've
basketball.
never had a pizza from Manetti's in Warrensburg.
I'm telling you, that sounds good, actually.
But he was pure
Italian, huh?
Come on in here, boys. You want to see how it's made? I was like, does this swear us in?
Yeah, absolutely it does. So, yeah, nothing bigger than KU basketball. So this Riley girl was out here, fixing the lottery. And in Lawrence, I mean, this is probably the biggest news story of the day in Lawrence. I mean, I was talking to my friends.
Play Arizona Saturday.
I know, but this was cheating. I had friends whose daughters and kids are up there. We were all on a text thread yesterday. Everybody's trying to get to the bottom of this, laughing our asses off. I know another kid who's up there that's kind of, part of this thing in a roundabout way. I was talking to him a little bit last night about this thing. And the kids at KU, dude, are like, this is serious to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hearing these stories, and I'm just laughing my ass off because when you're at 20, 21 years old, this is like the biggest thing in your world. This is a major crisis right now that is taking place on the campus of the University of Kansas. Like, this is going to be talked about till the end of basketball season. And if you're this Riley girl, can you go on campus anymore? Like,
sure.
Can you show your face in class or at the bars or hang out with people? Or people looking at you like you're the scum of the earth because you've been rigging these basketball lotteries?
I mean, it depends. Like Mac and I were talking about this earlier. So if you were not awake or in your car, or if you did hear it, thanks for continuing to listen. But to me, it's one of those things. It's like a feel out thing. Like, obviously they're going to be pissed and everybody's mad, but obviously it's been addressed and it should be over with, right? Whatever. Sucks. There's only like 2 weeks left. There's only one game left in Kansas, and it's against K-State at home it's in Kansas against K-State for senior night.
Yeah.
Which there's another record for Bill Self. If you want to look up those numbers, it's
senior night undefeated. Yeah, one of those.
I don't know if it's undefeated, but his record on senior night is just ridiculous. It's up there with like the 41-0 on Big Monday, whatever it may be, or what is it? The other one, 23 losses in 23 seasons or something like that.
Yeah,
it's stupid. But I think you go to campus and you kind of do that, and then you could also use this to your benefit and be like, after class, go up to the professors in each class you have and be like, hey, here's the deal. Number one, your class is more important than I am, and I don't want to be a distraction. 2, here's the story of why I am a distraction. 3,
they'll know.
For sure. And then you could be like, hey, is there any option for me to just do everything online, or do I need to be here? And if I have to be here, can I just come to your office? Because professors, I learned in college, are very submissive towards, that's not the right word. They're very open to you and them to have that relationship. Because I remember when I was interning for your guys' show, right? Billy Butler came to studio that one day, and I told my math teacher, I was like, I will never miss class. I will sit in the front row and I will stay after if I've been building. And I told my professor, I was like, hey, I'm going to miss tomorrow's class or Friday's class because there's this deal. Turns out she was a diehard Royals fan. Turns out she listened to Fescoe and Kling all the time, or Fescoe in the morning. And she's like, you're interning for that show? She's like, yeah. I'll send you the email. Thanks for coming to me about it and not telling me afterwards.
Yeah, of course. That's the way you do it. Yeah.
I think that's one of those things where that situation would come forward, but it's also just first world problems in Lawrence, Kansas.
Really is,
like,
yeah.
How dare I have to stand on the fourth row, not the first?
Yeah.
Like, come on. But I get it. I mean, my buddies were DKI frat boys at KU, and when they pledged, they had to wear poop suits and all this sort of stuff, which were white shirts tucked into blue jeans, and they went on a cleaning spree at the frat house on Sunday mornings. They also were the people that stood in line, and went through a rotation.
And did all that stuff.
They did all that stuff. So, I mean, I understand, like, the hatred towards maybe this person because of what you've had to go through, because of how special and unique it is to be a student at KU. I'm not into KU. I'm not a student there. I mean, I went to UCM where you could just show up at 10:05 and the game started at 10. You could stand on the front row.
Right, yeah.
And they won a national championship that year.
That's right. Yeah.
And so I understand probably the envy and jealousy of it, also the hatred, the negativity towards it. But again, you're all going to move on. You're all going to games. You're all having this. It's unfair. Money talks. She probably took some sort of payment from people. I would assume that's how this works.
Well, I think what
world.
happens is what I was gathering by talking to people involved in the situation is that these camping leaders, they have like a leadership council, which is ridiculous.
Sounds like HOA.
It does. Very much so. Like, I hate to be this guy, but she's going to be a sweet Karen someday. I mean, she is going to be driving that silver minivan around yelling at the Starbucks people. Like, I can just see it right now with Riley, right? Like, that right there has got Karen written all.
She's going to post on the Ring app?
Yeah, right? Like, you're cheating and fixing camping sections in college. You telling me she's not going to be a Karen someday and marching into every school and yelling at every coach about what her kid is not able to do? Karen in the making right there. But I will say this, she's not the only one, and she's the one that is getting the brunt of it because she's on the committee. Everybody knew that this was going on from what I'm gathering. Like, people have been saying this has been happening for years, and I guess the people who were in charge of the campus leaders, or the camping leadership, well, what were they doing? They were fixing it so their people would get closer to the floor. Like, I know it sounds like I can't believe it took this long to figure it out. But now that the people have come clean on this, everybody is like mad at this girl and one of the fraternities on campus, as opposed to being mad at everybody who allowed this to go on, because while she's culpable, she wasn't the first to do this. They're just following in the footsteps that have been passed down for, the last 5-10 years, however long they've been doing it this way.
So in layman's terms, as we wrap this up and move on to Brett Veach, what exactly was she doing?
She was basically fixing the lottery so her people could be closer to the court, which is essentially what all the folks were doing that were in charge of that. But, I mean, it was just easier back then. Just yell here and you're here, and that was that. Now we got, I don't know what they're using for a lottery and how they're doing it, but it's not on the up and up, and people are mad. So now that's come to a head.
But, Miss Riley, if you would like to plead your case,
That's
you
right.
have an open forum here on 96.5 The Fan.
All about it, yeah.
We will listen to the story from the source. Speaking of the source, we heard Brett Veach, and he talked about the cliche of best player available.
Arguably some of the best players in this draft are maybe at non-premium positions when you look at the Ohio State linebacker, the Notre Dame running back, the safety at Ohio State. So those are really, really good players. It's hard to find faults with their tape. Really solid. But again, some of those more premium positions, interior D-line, edge rushers, they're hard to find. And with those guys, the problem with those guys is they're hard to find, and then they don't really become available in free agency. Some of those other positions, they're good players. You'll probably eventually get a chance to get some of those positions in free agency. So that's kind of the things you just have to weigh, kind of go through and weigh out all the options. But at the end of the day, I think you just want a guy that's going to come in here and be a great contributor on the field, off the field, and stick to that old mantra, take the best player available, right?
Boy, he's in midseason form.
Yeah, that's great cliches, Brett. Got to give you a round of applause on that one. I mean, that was
as
good.
Out.
I mean, that was as good as misdirection that I've ever seen. I mean, yeah, A B C D,
best player
DCBA, best player available, premier
college,
position,
not name. Could you imagine the hatred Binkley would have? Because Binkley was on that narrative for a while that Brett Veach doesn't draft Big Ten players.
That's right.
Or Ohio State
players because they cheated the 40-yard dash.
Ohio State players.
Right.
If he does get Caleb Downs to fall there, that'd be back-to-back years they take Ohio State picks. Would we hear another? Yeah, I hate that pick.
I hate that pick. I think it's 40 time. It's no good.
Now, we have seen in recency that the mock drafts have Caleb Downs going a little bit earlier than 9s.
Yeah.
Mel Kiper, the Vampire, said that the Jets have a possibility of
So
taking
they're not
him
taking him
at 2 overall. But it is interesting because a lot of people are going to have their minds persuaded one way or the other weekly, depending on how much you dive into mock drafts. Obviously, the Character Concerns podcast will come out later today. If not today, it'll be Thursday morning with Chris Nacero and Jay Binkley, who do all the homework that none of us signed up to do.
That's exactly right.
But they do, and they do an exceptional job at it. And Binkley still is adamant wide receiver. And you look at guys that we saw yesterday get announced in the world of sports that involve football. Breece Hall going to get a franchise tag.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Pitts going to get a franchise tag. So you can see where these guys are starting to kind of maybe move out of the picture. And unfortunately, Breece Hall is in there. Now, there still is a guy like Travis Etienne. So I think people like you, Mr. Fescoe, and Mac Morey as well, want the Chiefs to maybe go to the ATM to get Etienne to be a running back in this backfield. And then there's also the possibility of, if it is best player available and your options in free agency that he said that there's some guys you might have a chance to get, some guys you may not. Maybe the best player available could end up being Jeremiah Love at 9.
It may be. But that was as good a talking in circles as Brett has done.
He knows what he's doing.
I know he did. Brett, you're getting really good at this, my man. Because now I'm thinking, and this is my honest reaction, I don't really care anymore. Just give me the guys. I'm ready for this to be over right now because I know they're going to do a good job because they always have done a good job.
Right.
Maybe some are better than others, but for the most part, you're grading these drafts over the last 10 years. They're well above average. So I know we're going to get a very good player at number 9, and it's going to be a player that I would think would fit into this system for a very long time, hopefully, whether it's offensive or defensive. But yeah, you can't go in looking for position or need. You start doing that, and then that's when you F it all up. You just got to take the best player available, and other than a quarterback, obviously, but you just got to go with that best player available, and you'll never be wrong because the good players always find a way to dominate. And he's right about free agency. Good players don't get the free agency either. And Breece Hall's not going to get the free agency. Kyle Pitt's not going to get the free agency. All those names that we want, these teams, that's why they franchise them, because they don't allow them to get the free agency. And so that's why you have to make hay with those positions sometimes in the draft.
You also hear Brett Veach speak about a former free agent and young kid, no longer young anymore, what the conversations have been between 87 and the organization.
Yeah, I think we've kind of taken a different approach with Travis in the sense that I think, we've kind of prepared for either scenario. And Coach had mentioned on Friday, he's had great dialogue with Travis on our end, myself, Chris Shea, Travis's crew. We've had some good dialogue there. And I'm sure we're going to see him here just like we will all the other players' agents, and we'll continue that dialogue. But Travis is the best. He's an icon, and hopefully he comes back, and we'll just kind of let that process play out. It's not your typical, hey, 27-year-old first time at free agency. Travis has done everything. He's accomplished everything. He's about to get married. He's got a lot going on. And so I don't think there's an element of us not trying to, you need some sort of deadline timeline, but at the same time, it's Travis Kelce. So we're going to just continue to have positive dialogue and see where this thing ends. But I think we're trying to position ourselves that either way, we have a plan moving forward.
So 2 things out of this. One, should we readjust flies on the window or Travis Kelce decision? For those of you that don't know about the flies in the window, Bob killed 2 massive flies on this window in this office that we have. They're still there, and you did it on December 15th?
No, it wasn't quite December. I think it was after the first of the year.
So it was January.
It was mid-January.
We'll say January 8th.
Mac, did you write down that date by chance when I killed those flies?
No, I did not.
Come on, Mac. That's important information.
Definitely thought it was before the new year, though.
No, it definitely was not before the new year.
I thought it was before we took the Christmas hiatus.
No, I think it was definitely after that.
Okay.
So I'll set the new, March 11th is when free agency happens?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say St. Patrick's Day is the day that we have a decision. Do you want to take before or after St. Patty's Day with Travis Kelce and his decision with Kansas City?
I'm going to say before because the league year starts on the 11th. But I will say, however, I don't care what Travis decides. It should have no impact on how you're building your team going forward.
Sure.
You know,
but it's just a topic of off-season conversation with the Chiefs.
But like, I hope they're not, and I don't think they are. They're not stupid. Like thinking, we got to figure out what Travis does before. No, Travis. Like, if you get Travis back, that's the gravy, right? That's the end of the meal. That's your dessert. You get him back. I don't think you should make any plans based on Travis Kelce. But I think we will know sooner. Let me ask you this one: will we know sooner about Travis or Aaron Rodgers?
Travis
for sure.
Rodgers is going to milk that thing.
We'll find out about Rodgers in June.
You think it's because now they're saying
Father's
it's not
Day
going to
or
take that
Rodgers?
long? Oh, I think we'll know. I think we'll have a pretty good take on Rodgers soon. Like, he wants to go to Minnesota, man. So if Minnesota wants him, 9 or Rodgers?
9. I'm not doing that.
What does Aaron Rodgers do for you as a franchise right now? It just bides you a year of being 10-7.
I mean, the defenses in that division. You look at Detroit with that defensive line with Aiden Hutchinson, he will eat Aaron Rodgers alive 2 times a year.
Yeah, he just can't move.
No,
He's
and
a statue.
I just think that the way the game is evolving is you have to have some movement. Like, you're watching these statues like die out quickly before our eyes. Like, you're watching now. Joe Flacco's an exception.
Mm-hmm.
He's somehow making it, but he's been a Band-Aid. It's not like he's somebody that's going to get you to the promised
that's
land.
the thing. Like, Aaron Rodgers, to me, is like, you're wasting a year if you have Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback.
Unless you go get somebody and like make a massive trade up, and you think that Ty Simpson is your future out of Alabama, and you trade up to get him, like maybe you don't have to trade up to get Ty Simpson either if you're Minnesota, and then you go get Aaron Rodgers. But again, like, it's kind of the whole thing. Like,
Rodgers as like my mentor. I don't know.
And will he do it?
Yeah, exactly.
And will he do it? Because isn't he the guy who? No, that was Roethlisberger.
Like, if that's the case, then I'm going and getting Kirk Cousins. I'm having a reunion. Fans will love it. He will be a much better mentor, more open to all that.
Relationship with Double J.
Yep. Yeah. Show him how to use that Kohl's cash.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. If you're going to go that route, if you're Minnesota, go back to get Kirk Cousins. That's a better fit than what Aaron Rodgers is going to bring.
Who plays
to the
longer,
table.
Rodgers or LeBron James? And have both exceeded their limitations.
I think they both have. I think both leagues need to move on from both of these guys. I think they're anchors on the league. I really do. I mean, it's all we talk about is Aaron Rodgers, and LeBron. Like, maybe part of the reason the NBA is not able to move forward is because we still have LeBron in the way of allowing these new stars to move forward.
Is LeBron the statue version of an NBA player? Horrible at defense, kind of is a blockade to his team.
Yeah, he's a blockade. Yeah, he's a
he's still
drama.
putting up 20+ at the age of 41
still so good. And when he
whatever.
wants to be good on defense, he can for 5 minutes. Like, he's for a 5-minute stretch. Like,
that's about all the NBA players play defense.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. No, I
what? The hell was that?
A new drop created by the voice of Mac Morey.
Yeah, the NBA players only play 5 minutes of defense. Mac?
Oh, yeah, man.
The guy from sales?
That's exactly what
Dude,
happened.
sweet Patagonia jacket. I have the same one. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, that's your girl from college? Yeah, we dated. Oh, thanks. That's great. I think I'm going to say after St. Patty's Day for Kelsey.
For a 5-minute stretch. Like,
That's about all the NBA players play defense.
Right? Yeah.
Right, yeah.
There it is.
I don't even know what that is. Were you agreeing with me? Like, what were you doing?
I was being the no defense guy.
Yeah. They don't play any defense in the first time they play defense in the NBA will be the first time.
Yes.
Right, yeah. When was the last time you watched an NBA game, sir? Never. Thank you.
Whoa.
Sorry.
That was AI.
Turn it off. That's great.
Mac or Stern?
Hey, I can relate to that for sure. Let me tell you something, man. I'm not kidding.
We've lost all control. Houston, we have a problem. Coming up on the other side, we'll get into, flags from the booth. Not in Lawrence, just legitimate flags from the booth here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
This is Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan, brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
DQ presents The Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ soft serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into soft serve. Plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy, tastes good. Participation may vary.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast!
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
As the owner, coach, and quarterback of your small business, you call the shots. From inventory to payroll and more. Now it's time to bring in LendSeek, your funding MVP. No delay of game here. Get up to $2 million in as fast as 24 hours for business lines of credit or term loans. Let LendSeek's AI marketplace assist you in making the winning play and score that touchdown. Apply at lendseek.com. LENDSEEK.com.
DQ presents The Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ soft serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into soft serve. Plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy, tastes good. Participation may vary.
Ah, the most beautiful time of year is upon us. Tax season. And Tax Slayer is here to help you file. We guarantee 100% accuracy and your maximum refund. Those are some good numbers. And you can trust me, because I'm a talking calculator. Did I mention Tax Slayer even has support from real US-based humans if you have any questions along the way? Beat the rush and start for free today. Tax Slayer. File fearlessly.
Wouldn't you like to take a vacation from your bills? Well, you can. The new year is here. Home values are up, and you have more home equity than ever. Now is the time to put that home equity to work for you. This is James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak Lending. Credit card balances are at an all-time high. Why pay 25 to 30% interest to them when you could be saving thousands of dollars after a simple phone call? Golden Oak's mortgage rate is 4.5%. We have no fee to apply and no out-of-pocket costs. And if you call today, you could make no payments for 2 months. But don't wait. This rate won't last forever. Imagine how good it will feel to have those bills paid off. At Golden Oak Lending, we can make that happen in as little as 14 days. And if for any reason your loan doesn't close, we will pay for your appraisal. Call today and take advantage of our 4.5% fixed rate. Call 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Lending cured my blues.
5.442 APR, FHA 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit, additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
Mac, did you almost have a false start there?
I think I did.
I was just talking to the guys from 10 to 2, Cody Golden Drew. Alex said he played it all day yesterday as well.
Oh, they couldn't get enough of it.
I told Cody, I was like, the thing that we can't get over is the inhale before the hut.
It's so good. He was saying it should be a 50-yard penalty anytime a quarterback tries to do that.
50 yards is egregious.
He's like, stop doing the we all know you're not going to hike it fake, and that was his.
That is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Which, as I got older watching football, I would just look at the play clock.
Yeah, you just know.
And if they walk up with 6 seconds left, I'd be like, all right, we can get a beer.
Well, but then you still have people jump off sides.
Mm-hmm. That's your cadence.
You still have people that jump off sides. So that's why they do it, because you still have idiots. Everybody and their brother knows this is not a play.
Right? Yeah.
Oh man, what a Wednesday. So the NFL, obviously rule changes. NFL Executive Vice President of Football Operations Troy Vincent, great corner for the Philadelphia Eagles, suggested the possibility Monday while speaking to reporters during the break in the meeting, quote, "You don't want to just be expanding the Pandora's box," Troy Vincent said, "but we believe that the things like non-football act, you can really, really restrict what that is. That's something that we believe that potentially there's a little bit of tweaking in the language. That may be the first step." Meaning, I think that if you see something in a replay and it picks up on the screen, like, hey, actually, that guy had a face mask, you can then re-throw a flag.
Yeah, I hate
maybe
this.
not. Maybe let's not make games longer.
That's the thing for me. It's not because I want the technology or anything like that. Football games already are very, very long, and football, quite honestly, after looking at the numbers, has the least amount of action of any sport. Only 6% of the time is the football moving in a football game.
Because the NFL Competition Committee is discussing the possibility of authorizing replay officials to throw flags for specific penalties.
Yeah, that just bogs
So now
down
you're
the
just-
game.
yeah.
You're continuing to elongate the game because we know how penalties and stoppages of play in the NFL work, guys. Like, I think that's why people are scared of ABS. They think it's going to be like what an NFL penalty review is, and it's not. I mean, baseball reviews, whether they're looking at the old school review that we've had now for a few, those are fast too. Those don't take any time at all.
Well,
to
and
do.
anytime the NFL's told us they were going to expedite the process, even with the line
That
of-
takes forever for that thing to show up.
That was a real eye opener. I think, Mac, were you and I at that,
That was
game
a
when that
wet
happened?
fart
You and I think we were covering that game, and
Yeah.
they're like because again, it all came back to it doesn't matter what the line shows; it's where the ref puts the ball.
Right.
So again, you didn't really fix anything.
didn't.
And then I think when we were there, it was like you, me, and Alex. And it was like
Yeah, I do
5.5
remember this, yeah.
minutes before they even decided if it was a first down or not. Like, what are we doing
Yeah,
here?
that's just too long. People don't have that attention span
ABS
anymore.
is 15 seconds.
If that. I don't even think
Yeah.
it's 15 seconds, Dusty. I mean, it's much quicker than that. Baseball has done a great job with
amazing.
replays and ABS. It's so fast. And the NFL is more concerned about giving you commercials than they are, moving the game along.
Even red zone.
And yeah, exactly. And so, and I understand that's what pays the bills, and it's only going to get worse because the NFL is not backing down. They want more and more and more and more and more, and the TV networks are going to continue to pay, so they're going to have to find a way, obviously, to generate more, commercials. But I am against flags from the booth because the game of the NFL is a very stagnant game. People think baseball is a slow game. The ball moves 10% of the time in baseball. It moves 6% of the time in the NFL, 40% of the time in hockey, and like 80% of the time in basketball. When you start to compare how much the ball is actually in play, the NFL is by far the slowest game that we have, but we don't view it again. Perception. We view all this action in the NFL. Oh, the perception of the NFL is action, action, action. 94% of the time, we're standing around scratching ourselves watching guys stand around and scratch themselves, whether it in a huddle, whether it be a replay, whether it be whatever. The NFL game has gotten bogged down. And so Mac was saying the other day about like what could kill the NFL and how that eventually could go away. Continuing to make games longer for no reason and taking the action and reducing the action even further in an NFL game, that's what's ultimately going to kill this league. I mean, 6% of the time is when the ball moves in the NFL. Just think about that. That's nothing.
Should be very interesting from the fans' perspective when that first penalty gets called. There was no holding on the play.
Yeah.
But after further review, we noticed there is illegal hands to the face defense.
I mean, no.
What in the world?
Yeah, no.
You get a second chance. You get to correct the answers for a B.
Because
have credit.
Let's think about it though for a second. These referees are human beings as well, and sometimes they do let things go that aren't egregious. What if you go up to the booth and then somebody else thinks that that's an egregious penalty and the ref missed it? Now that guy looks bad when you're kind of playing within the flow of the game. So no, I do not need somebody the eye in the sky making more calls and slowing this game down any further than it's already been slowed down.
And yeah, when you talk about them being their own worst enemy and getting in their own way. I mean, look at you mentioned baseball, but yeah, basketball too. A lot of action. Hockey was the one I really talked about after that gold medal game on After Hours on Monday, being like, could this be the main sport in America one day? Because it has all the elements of what we want and what we like in America as sport. It does. It's got action. It's got heart. It's got violence. It's got hitting. That's why we like football. Like, don't make it complicated than it is. We like people seeing people hit each other.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at it, basketball, the actual time in play, 33% of the broadcast time is actual time in play for the NBA, 50% for soccer, 40% for hockey, 10% of the baseball broadcast is actually balls in play, and 6% of an NFL broadcast is actually balls in play. And the NFL has the longest amount of broadcast time, from 190 to 200 minutes.
Yeah.
You know? Roughly.
We have more to watch. We have more content. We don't need to sit for 3 hours to watch 5 minutes of football. You've got
11 to 15 minutes is all that the ball is played in the NFL. Over about 18 minutes in baseball, 60 minutes in hockey, the puck is in play.
Yes.
So that's the entire time. 48 minutes in basketball, that's the entire time.
Yes.
And then soccer, 55 to 60 minutes with the flopping and all that kind of stuff. But like people, again, the perception is that football is this action-packed sport. And really, it's the longest to play. Like, we're worried about speeding up baseball games. We're worried about speeding up college basketball games. Football games, everybody's just content to watch 11 minutes and 3+ hours. 6% of the time you're getting action. Nobody ever complains about the pace of a football game.
But to kind of what we talked about last year, a lot of that could be red zone, too.
Yeah.
Red zone has changed that. You know, people aren't actually watching football
They're not
games.
actually watching football games. You're absolutely right about that. And that's something I've realized over the last couple of years is, like, you watch red zone, you're missing these games. Because then we get to the playoffs and people are going, this is boring. So red zone,
football.
Yeah, but red zone maybe has been the thing that saved the NFL's bacon. Like, what if they didn't have red zone and everybody was just forced to watch the game like we had to in the past, and you couldn't have something like red zone? Would the NFL be as popular? I don't know the answer to that question. Because fantasy football, gambling, and red zone, I think, are three of the most important things in the NFL.
Well, you've also, I don't know if you said this already, so I apologize for not listening, but remember when we would always go back and say if you can't watch a game, you'd record it?
And then you watch the condensed version.
Yep.
And, yeah,
and
I
like
used to do that.
like an hour.
DirecTV used to, back in the day when DirecTV had
Yeah.
Sunday Ticket, you would get the next day, you would get on your phone or the app, you would get all of the condensed games. And I used to go to the gym and rewatch the Chiefs game in like 20 minutes because I was doing some running or whatever, and I just put it there in front of me, and they chopped it all up, condensed it all up. You could see every play if you wanted to watch that. And that was still 20 minutes. The ball only moved 11 to 15 during an NFL game.
Yeah, because somebody said from the 785, I've read some stat that from snap to tackle, there is less than 14 minutes of actual football during the 3.5 hour game.
11 to 15 on average, 11 to 15 minutes on average. And we're complaining about the pace of game in every other sport but the NFL, and we want to stop it down even more. No. I think what the NFL should really do to know the value of it, I love your thought, Mac. Get rid of red zone for 1 year and see what the popularity of the NFL is without red zone.
I would not.
I'd still be there watching, get my 3 TVs, 6 games out.
Right,
yes, but I mean, I love red zone.
Yeah. I just want to see what it does for the does for the league.
I love I have to know everything as fast as possible. And I love being able to track my fantasy and bets, and nothing gives me that experience more than red zone in the moment for what it is. Because nothing's better than like hanging out with your buddies, and all of a sudden Scott Hansen cuts to a scene and goes, anybody got Njoku on their fantasy team? Watch this highlight. And you're like, all right, sweet. I don't need to go to my phone immediately. So like, I'm not as a true fan as some may say, but like for the entertainment aspect of it, I love red zone.
No, it's entertaining, very good.
You're in the majority.
Yeah. No, I
100%.
would just love to see it just as a case study, right? A test case, or however you want to say it. This year, no red zone. Let's see how popular the NFL is.
Yeah, how much do you like the sport?
Right. Yeah. I would love to see it. I would love to see people's reaction if they're forced to watch what year did red zone start?
Oh, wow. I'll look it up while you guys discuss.
Because what I'm getting at is the younger generation.
15 years, 10 years.
Okay, so let's say your generation, Mac, you guys were raised with red zone being a thing, right? Everybody knew what red zone was. Your generation never had to really watch the game from start to finish because you watched the highlights all after. And I'm not saying you, but I'm saying this,
Yeah, probably a few years young, but close. I'm right on that line.
Right,
yeah.
Launch date, September 13th, 2009.
So 2009.
Yeah.
Okay, so
11,
17 years ago they launched that.
Gosh.
And The NFL has grown in popularity, has grown with the red zone. People love. I would just love to see what happens to the league, what happens with people's comments and thoughts about the NFL. If they said or maybe you just do it for 2 weeks. 2 weeks, no red zone. Watch your game. And I want to see what people say, because I do think we'll see a lot of what we saw in the playoffs where people are like, this is boring. Because we did. Like, I was stunned by that.
Wow.
And then I realized everybody's watching red zone. There's never a stop in the action. There's never a moment where there is no action going on. But when you watch a game, there's a lot of standing around. So back to the original point. We do not need anybody else getting involved in slowing down an NFL game.
Please.
Well, there's one big problem of why you can't get rid of Red Zone for any amount of time, because as of August 2025, the NFL Red Zone channel estimated to generate approximately $500 million in annual revenue from roughly 5 million subscribers.
There you go.
Yeah, they would never do it.
So, hate to be Buzz Killington, it's going nowhere.
It's going nowhere.
It's a $500 million product.
I wonder if they'll put that up eventually for bid.
Never know. Everything has a price. By the way, the term red zone itself is referring to the area between the 20-yard line and the goal line, which was popularized by the Washington Redskins coach Joe Gibbs in the early 80s.
Yes.
If you know now, you didn't know then, now you do. Now, go do something nice for somebody. You never know. It could change their day, their week, their month, their year. It is simply cool to care. Kansas City, stay safe, stay kind, stay groovy.